day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, whatever you're doing in this big world of ours. It's great to see you here. I am Legal Vices, and this is Legal Vices. Welcome to my Legal Vices. We're going to be talking about some legal vices tonight and some not so legal devices, some not so legal vices tonight. All righty. What we're going to do tonight is we're just going to kind of do a collection of short stories, a short news items between 8 and 15 minutes each. We'll do a bunch of them. And what I'm going to do later is I'm going to trim them, cut them, and then I'm going to load them up every couple of days just as a standalone short video. So sort of what you're here for tonight is kind of like a live taping of something. Well, that's kind of what you're doing, really. Disney Nerd, our newest member, welcome to the Clean and Sober crew. It is a pleasure to have you aboard. Deeply, deeply appreciate your commitment and your willingness to part with a few good earned dollars to be an eternal supporter. Thank you so much. Everybody should have got notifications. I don't know why, but this is YouTube. The notification works probably 25% of the time. There's certain people I get notifications for and some I don't get notifications for. But just to be sure, make sure you're hitting that notification button down there. And while you're at it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We've got our poll up for why you have already hit that like button. So I'm just assuming you're going to do it. So answer the poll and do your thing. Hit that subscribe button if that's what you want. You should be exactly like Disney Nerd 85. Everybody should be like Disney 85 and join the memberships. They're pretty awesome because they're mine. All right, what we're going to be doing again, as I said, we're going to be doing the short stories today. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we're going to be doing the first Courtney Clenny interrogation video from Crime Circus. This is the interrogation of Courtney Clenny, the OnlyFans murderer who got all stabby with her boyfriend. And we all know what that means. Everybody, with your earphones in, you got 3 seconds to take them out. 3, 2, 2.5. Wait, we're going backwards. 3, 2, 1.
This is called a stabbing motion. Stabbing motion. Stabbing motion.
We're going to be doing the Courtney Clenny's first interrogation from when she was arrested in Las Vegas for assaulting her boyfriend back then. Thursday is O.J. Simpson Day. We're going to be doing the interrogation, the cross-examination, rather, of, I almost said Mark Fuhrman again. We've been doing the cross-examination of Mark Fuhrman for like 3 months now. So it's just right on the tip of my tongue. We're going to be doing the cross-examination of criminologist Dennis Fung by Barry Scheck. And we'll be doing that for quite a while. It was a very long, very, very long cross-examination. For full days, it was 8.5 hours of full days. Let's try that again. 8.5 days of full court sessions. I'll get it out one way or the other. So we're going to be doing that on Thursday. O.J. Simpson. Friday, absent anything in particular happening, we're going to be doing the second interrogation of Courtney Clenny after she stabbed her boyfriend repeatedly. Well, once. She'd stabbed him before this as well. But this is the interrogation for after stabbing him, or as she said, javelining a knife from across the room, which happened to sink 3 inches deep into his chest. We'll see what she has to say about that. That'll be on Friday. Next Monday, we'll have a rather lighthearted Maritime Monday. And we'll keep doing some other things during the course of next week. But right now, that's what we've got loaded up. And do not forget, Friday, January 6th, that will be the first of 2023 F-It Fridays. And F-It Friday, we just grift. It's a lighthearted grift where I grift for as much of your money as possible. You, in return, get to watch me drink and get silly, which we always do. We'll have a great panel of guests again, I hope. Every month, it seems to be, the guests seem to be getting better, and people are actually wanting to participate now rather than me dragging them kicking and screaming to my F-It Fridays. So mark that on your calendar, January 6th. We've got a lot of ground to cover today, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to start in this right now, and how we'll work this while you're hitting the like button repeatedly and subscribing, and if you're making your comments, we'll probably spend about 5 minutes between each of the news stories where I just catch up on chat. And, if you do any super chats, Hint, hint. Uh, we'll read those during the breaks in the news stories as well. And like I said, I'll just download this and then upload the individual news stories later, so we don't interrupt the flow of the news story. I hope that made sense, because that's what we're gonna do. Let me get everything set up here for the first one. We're gonna be starting out with the Shanquella Robinson case. That's a trip. I'm bigging it here for the world to see. All right, Corn Pope has been telling me about. Dang it! See, I was gonna joke again. I was gonna call her Corn Pop again. I was gonna say Corn Pop told me about this video a while ago, but I made a mistake and called her by her actual nickname. All right, gotta make my stash look all purty. There we go. Dog in the background. All right, are we ready? This is how it's going to go. We'll just burn through this, and feel free to continue to put your comments up. I'll just go back and read them after the story goes away. And I'm going to remove the comments so that I don't see them, so I don't get distracted. All right, here we go. Hi, Legal Vices here, welcoming you to an update here on the Shanquella Robinson story. If you don't know who she is, we're going to give you a little bit of background and set you up for the future of this case. Shanquella Robinson. You may have heard about this in October, down in Mexico with a group of friends. She dies. It's a mystery. Well, going off this Time article, we can see that Mexican prosecutors have filed charges against a suspect in the death of Shanquella Robinson, a 25-year-old American woman who died on October 29th while on vacation with 6 of her friends in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. The Mexican authorities have not publicly named the American woman they're seeking to extradite, but they have confirmed it is one of her friends. The FBI is also involved in the ongoing investigation. Well, hey, with friends like these, who needs enemies, apparently? So she goes off to Mexico with her friends, and she ends up dead. Well, what do we know about this? Well, first of all, we've got this. I feel so good. That's a good feeling. That's what we've been waiting for someone to be finally held accountable and arrested. Salamander Robinson. Robinson's mother told ABC News when she found out an arrest warrant had been issued, "I just can't wait for justice to be served." So until this arrest happened, the parents, your mother, didn't even know what happened. Well, what do they think happened? First of all, there's a video, and I know some of you have asked whether I'm playing the video. I'm not playing the video. If you search for it online, you can easily find it, but that apparently is also the easiest way of getting demonetized. Every video I've seen of this on YouTube has been demonetized. But there is a video out there, and it's a viral video. It went viral. A viral video of a woman who appears to be Robinson being beaten helped Robinson's case garner national attention. To say that she was beaten in that video is a bit of an understatement. She is knocked senseless. She is pummeled by a large friend. I mean, just knocked around the hotel room. Just got her ass beat. Why you would videotape something like that is literally beyond me, especially if it has this outcome. Robinson's friend initially told Salamandra that she had died of alcohol poisoning. Yeah, so the daughter just turns up dead. We'll explain it here a little bit later, but basically she goes to the hospital dead. This is alcohol poisoning, Ma. Well, that may have been a lie. So they told her what it was. First off, they told her it was alcohol poisoning. ABC News reported, but an autopsy listed Robinson's cause of death as serious spinal cord injury and dislocated neck. That's how bad this alleged beating was. The authorities found Robinson dead in the living room of her vacation rental in San Jose del Cabo on October 29th, according to an autopsy report, but initial local police reports offered different timelines of what happened that day. If you're gonna go to the police, make sure all your stories match. A guest allegedly alerted medical staff at the resort where Robinson was staying that the victim had drunk a lot of alcohol. Well, you're in Cabo, that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna start drinking, and around 2 p.m., that's when they were alerted. by 2 p.m., if I was in Cabo by about 2 p.m., that's when the authorities would be alerted that I have been drinking a lot of alcohol as well. So nothing out of the ordinary so far, according to a local police report obtained by ABC News. A doctor advised that Robinson be transferred to a hospital due to dehydration. Now, see, this this is where things start to go a little bit awry. Take her to the hospital due to dehydration, but none of her friends did so. She later died of cardiac arrest, the police report says. The doctor says take her to the hospital. Well, they don't. They've just filmed her being beaten senseless in the room. Now they don't take her to the hospital like the doctor said. The official autopsy report, however, says that the medical officials came to see her before 3 p.m. So, after which she was rapidly declared dead. He's looking, dead. From sustaining an injury to her spinal cord and neck. Mexican prosecutors have labeled her death as a direct attack, not an accident. So she didn't fall down. She didn't slip and fall in the tub. She didn't bang her head on something. She didn't sustain an injury at the pool. She got her ass whipped is sort of where they're going with this. This was a direct attack, not an accident. Yeah, we need you to go away. Video, thank you. Video, go away. All right. The day of her passing, Robinson's friends initially told her parents that their daughter had died from alcohol poisoning. Robinson's mother, Salamandra, later told Good Morning America that the day before the autopsy report was released, Robinson's friends went over to her house and each told her a different description of what happened in Mexico. She said she did not believe their stories. Yeah, when all your friends come back and they tell you that, this is what happened, then someone else says, no, this is what happened. Someone else says, this is what happened. When you get these different versions about what happened to your little girl in a hotel room, that's a signal that something is not right. So she didn't believe any of this. Well, Robinson's family called the authorities to take a deeper look at the case and insisted that the 25-year-old's death was not from alcohol poisoning, especially after the video of what her family believes is Robinson surfaced. Again, it hasn't been authenticated that it was her, but everyone seems to know it's her. It's not clear when the video was taken, but Robinson can be seen being beaten as a male voice in the background says, "Can you at least fight back?" That's not the best video you want to have if you are the person in front of the camera that's delivering this beating. The outcry from Robinson's family garnered national attention, and last week, the FBI then announced they had opened an investigation in the case. Nearly a month after Robinson's death, the FBI Charlotte field office opened an investigation as Mexican prosecutors attempted to extradite the subject. The FBI Charlotte field office has opened an investigation into the death of Charlotte resident Shanquella Robinson in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico on or around October 29th, 2022. Due to the ongoing investigation, we have no further comment, a spokesperson wrote in a statement to the Charlotte Observer. But Mexican authorities are investigating the case as a femicide. We will get into what a femicide is in a minute. They are treating it as a femicide, which is defined as the homicide of a woman because of her gender. Mexico has seen a significant rise in femicides in recent years, increasing from 427 victims in 2015 to 1,004 in 2021 per Vision of Humanity. We'll be checking out Vision of Humanity here in just a second. There is already an arrest warrant issued for the crime of femicide. Daniel de la Rosa, the Attorney General for Baja California Sur, told local media outlets last week. One of the Robinson's friends is accused of the murder, though investigators have not identified whom. We are already carrying out the relevant procedures, both the Interpol file and the extradition request, de la Rosa added. Oof. That's where this is going. Again, there's a video out there. If you want to search it, if you want to watch it, go ahead and do it. I can't show it here. Video would be nuked in a heartbeat. But it's interesting that she's gone to this place. She's gone on vacation with her friends. Her friends say, she was drinking. She drank too much, and she apparently died of alcohol poisoning. But there's a video of what is most likely her getting her ass beat. The autopsy says, essentially, you broke her neck and damaged her spine, apparently in this beating. Now, again, everybody in this story is innocent until proven guilty. We don't even know who the suspect is at this point, but someone did it. It was one of her friends. And And we'll have to keep seeing how this plays out. Are they going to Mexico for, the last place I'd probably want to be charged and tried for murder, well, not the last place, but one of the bottom few would be Mexico. Are they going to get prosecuted in the States? We'll have to see how this plays out. But it is also an interesting thing, as was mentioned in the article, that it is being treated as a crime of femicide. So what is femicide? This is rather interesting. So it kind of makes you wonder what the argument was about. Femicide is defined as the criminal deprivation of life of a female victim for reasons based on gender, not just I'm going to kill you because you were there or you fight. Specifically, murder because she's a female. The murder of a woman or girl is considered gender-based. Let's embiggen this area. Is considered. Where do we go? Yeah, let's scroll back down here. The murder of a woman or girl is considered gender-based and includes the femicide statistics when one of 7 criteria is met. These criteria include evidence of SV prior to the victim's death. Let's assume that's not the case here. A sentimental, affective, or trusting relationship with the perpetrator and the victim's body being displayed in public. Clearly, there's some sort of trusting relationship with the perpetrator. Could it have had something to do with the guy? Was the guy somehow involved? The guy that was saying, "Can you at least fight back?" Was it a squabble over a dude? But if it was a squabble over the dude, what's dude doing filming it? So it seems like whoever was filming it was on the aggressive friend's side. But there's something about this that makes it a femicide. Femicide was first included in the Mexican Penal Code in 2012 and incorporated into official crime statistics as a distinct category in the same year. As a relatively new crime, categories that require added levels of investigation and analysis to identify, femicides have not been uniformly classified as such by different law enforcement institutions since the category's introduction. So it's hard to get these statistics. As it says in the next sentence here, it's hard to determine the actual number of femicides in Mexico over time because how one place defines this femicide criteria and how another side interprets the femicide criteria are different. So there's a lack of uniformity, but the numbers I don't think are really important, except for in this one case that we're dealing with now. It says Mexico became an international reference point for gender-based violence in the 1990s, and then it's gone on to progress to where they've codified this crime of femicide. And this is where the story stands now. Shanquella's dead. Mexico is talking extradition of somebody. There's somebody on video that's seen apparently beating her, and she later apparently dies from that. And the FBI is also looking into it. They've opened a case. We're going to have to wait and see where this turns out. And again, this is whoever ends up being charged with this, if anybody, is presumed innocent until they're proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. The problems I can see with this on the horizon are, one, can you properly identify who that is in the video? The woman that's being the aggressor. 2, can you link that beating to her death? 3, do you have enough evidence to support whatever theory of the case you're going to give as the prosecutor? Is there going to be a proper motivation for it? We're just going to have to wait and see. Until then, stay tuned here to Legal Vices, because we're going to update you on this case as developments occur. Until next time, enjoy your legal vices. Wow, you guys have no idea how close I came. I came this close to clicking the end broadcast button. Holy crap. I just about ended the broadcast. That would have been really bad. All right, let's scroll up here and we'll go down through the chats while we take a break here. Jacob's Proud Madre, thank you so much for being the first and only super chat of the evening so far. Grateful to have you here. Appreciate it. I'm very grateful to see you. And to be with chat. Missed you the last few days, Vices. Hey, Jacob's proud madre. We are always happy to have you here. Great to see you. Stick around. It'll be fun. Corn Pope says, Fuzz Nuts, if you haven't heard about this Google Shanquella Robinson beating video, I'll give you a different context. It's disturbing. Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is the lady that got beat while on vacation. Why would they post the video? Because they're idiots. Why do people record themselves doing crimes? I honest to God have no idea why you would, I don't know why you would do something like that in the first place, but if you are going to do it, why in God's name would you record yourself doing it and then put it somewhere where it can be found or, I mean, it just makes no sense. Criminals tend not to be the smartest people out there. Alan has done it. Alan is looking at the video. Don't do it. Ugh. Yeah. Friendicide. Femicide is not that removal of the downstairs. Corn Pope really wants everybody to see this beating. I saw it once and I didn't really want to see it again. Let's see. Tuesday, Boomer. Don't know what you're talking about. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Today's Tuesday. Oh, and by the way, tomorrow I'm probably going to be starting an hour or so late. Might be 2 hours late. I don't know. I'll tentatively schedule it for 1 hour later because we're having our office year-end party. If there's only wine available, I'll be home early and on time. If we break out the scotch, I might be a little late because I stick around for free scotch. I don't care. I don't care about wine. Let's see. Yeah, wouldn't trust any numbers or stats given by the Mexican authorities. All right. Seems like most of the chats deal with various sides, spermicides, femicides, things like that. Yeah, it's a horrible video. I would not recommend you watch that video. It's a video of someone getting their ass beat. I don't know. I can't watch those videos anymore. It's if I have to, I will, but I don't voluntarily seek them out. This was just so weird that I decided I should look at the video, and I did. Still, if you assault someone, even if you don't expect that they're going to die, don't videotape yourself assaulting someone. Xcomer Triple Z says, "Oh my, what mug is that, Vices? And where can I buy such an outstanding mug? This is official Legal Vices merch. Just click the link right below this video where it says merch, and that'll take you to the cup where you have Legal Vices on this side, and they don't have any cocktail cups. So this is the Legal Vices on the front side, and on the back, it says this is a cocktail glass. That's the only merch I have available. I'm in the process of considering options for law racks hoodies. So, yeah. Well, we might have some law racks hoodies in the next couple of weeks. We'll see how that goes. Criminals taking pics and vids with their mobiles, not realizing that all the stuff belongs to Google and Facebook. Or friends get it. You pass it around to friends, go, oh, look at this ass whooping we gave her. Oh my gosh, she's dead. Too late. Then everything goes over to the police. Yeah, all of the pics, she's naked or half naked. Yeah, they just they literally whoop the britches off this woman. I mean, it's a beat down. Can you move over so we can see the dog? No. The dog is not the star here. I'm the star here. Yeah. My fuzzy nuts, Alan says, don't watch it. Yuck. Please have Mark Furman on. I would love to hear his side of the story. I'm pretty sure it's something he doesn't want to talk about much. And it would be a very short interview because it would start out something like, dude, what the hell? And then he'd probably hang up or log out. All right, so that's how this is how this is going to go. That was the first story. Now we're going to get into the second story, which is this new thing that everybody's talking about on the internet, which they're they're just people that are looking to cancel people just because they can. There's always got to be something somebody's getting upset about. These Nepo babies, the children of nepotism. Oh, it's unfair that some of these people are famous in Hollywood. Oh, it's unfair because someone has famous parents. Oh, it's unfair because they know somebody and got in the door. Dude, that's how life works. If you know somebody, use it to your effing advantage. Come on. If you know somebody and you're not using them to your advantage, you're kind of an idiot. Just do it. That's what they're there for. If you no matter what industry you're going into, whether it's Hollywood, whether it's welding, whether it's law, whatever it is, if you know someone, especially a family member, and they can help you get your foot in that particular door, do it. Don't be an idiot. But now apparently it's a bad thing. So that's what we're going to talk about. Nepo babies. Liz Gatehouse. So we can all use you to our advantage, Jeff. Oh, I don't know how you could possibly use me to your advantage. I mean, use me, but don't know whether it'll be to your advantage. It'll certainly be to mine. Just saying. All right. With that silliness out of the way, make sure we got it. I wish I was drunk, says, how are we, lads and lasses? Hope all is well. I hope things are as good as they can be under everybody's particular circumstances myself. Great to see you here. I wish I was drunk. It's always great when you make an appearance. Jeff, could you make a hoodie jumper with legal vices on the back? Well, the ones I'm looking at now will have like a law racks, and it will say something. It'll have like law racks somewhere, and then legal vices somewhere on the front. So it'll be a hoodie with law racks and legal vices, and a picture of a big law racks wearing a cowboy hat. That's the original thing. Just I've been so busy. I haven't had time to do that. And we also have to be Flair here. She or one of our chatters here. She's also does some pins. She's got some pin proofs lined up to send me. I've just got to figure out what to do. Probably we'll be able to get on all this stuff after the first of the year. Just this run up in this last week to the end of the year is extremely busy. Okay. Everybody ready to hear me talk about Nepo babies? All right, we got all the super chats out of the way. All right. Let's bring this out and we'll do round number 2. Before that, let me just check over here. Hey, we're not doing too bad on the poll here, and we've got a poll there. Everybody answer the poll, but we're still 150 people behind. There's a 150 person difference between concurrent viewers and likes. So some of you have not participated in the poll. Everybody here, go look at that poll, and that should tell you the proper answer for when you hit the like button, because I'm assuming everybody's hit the damn like button. If you haven't hit the damn like button. All right, there we go. Got that out of the way. All right, the next story. Again, if you're joining us in the middle of all of this, we're recording segments that I'm going to upload later as trimmed segments. Now, I'll probably leave this on here because I know a lot of people take them down when they start chopping it up. But in case you guys want to come back and see the chat, you're welcome to. So I'll probably leave this up unless there's some reason to totally take this thing down. I'll leave this up in the live video section and then just upload the others in the regular video section, so you guys can come back and see your witty remarks later. Sometimes I like to come back and look at the chat too. Did I spell Shanquella wrong? How did I spell Shanquella? Oh, in the title I did. It doesn't matter. I noticed it was a G instead of a Q. I noticed that a while ago, but it'll get fixed. I didn't do it in the thumbnail, or I spelled properly in the thumbnail because it's not in the thumbnail. All right, here we go. All right, let's get us reset here. And 3, 2, 1. Oh, let me get rid of the comments so I don't see them scrolling past my head. We'll be back to you in just a minute. This one should be probably shorter than the last one. 3, 2, 1. Hi, the Legal Vices here, asking you the important question that everybody else in the internet is asking apparently right now. A question that I didn't even know was a question. What are Nepo babies? And why is the internet talking about them? Everybody seems to be talking about Nepo babies. I couldn't figure out. And once I did, it's one of these things, one of these woke things that makes me go, dear God, why? Why have we got to this point? How have we got to this point? This is insane. Let's find out about Nepo babies from the reputable news source Today. New York Magazine recently declared 2022 Year of the Nepo Baby, publishing an all but definitive guide to the Hollywood Nepoverse through its pop culture publication Vulture. A Nepo baby, in case you haven't heard, which I hadn't heard until about a week ago, is the offspring of a famous person who follows their parent into creative industries and often is met with success despite the competition. Now, poring over the Nepo Babies infographic, which reads like a gossipy family tree, it's easy to think that everyone in Hollywood is related somehow, whether a star's parents were producers, directors, or famous actors in their own right. Well, so what? So what? Let's see where this goes. We love them. We hate them, says Vulture. We disrespect them. We're obsessed with them. On the latest New York Magazine cover, at Ken H's extremely overanalyzed story on Hollywood Nepo Baby Boom. Let's the Hollywood's Nepo Baby Boom. Let's look at it. Oh, she has her mother's eyes and agent. Extremely overanalyzing Hollywood Nepo Baby Boom by Nate Jones. Ugh. A Nepo baby, short for nepotism baby. I hate that. Nepo baby, short for nepotism baby, is a term that entered the cultural lexicon recently with think pieces. Oh God, I hate think pieces. That is just woke nonsense. Think pieces describing who gets into Hollywood and how. Vulture's comprehensive article sparked a heated debate about the way Nepo babies and their success should be perceived. There is no way it should be perceived. It just is. Sparked a heated debate about who gets entry into Hollywood and how. Nobody has a right to be an actress or an actor in Hollywood. Nobody has a right to be a movie producer. You have to get there on your own or with somebody else's help. And clearly, the easiest way to go about it is with somebody's help. If you completely suck at your job, if you are the worst actor in the universe, if you're the worst director, if you're the worst producer, it's going to come out. And even if you get there, it's never going to be enough to sustain you in any particular line of business that's reasonable and within the realm of normal processing. So this whole thing is ridiculous to me. But first things first, what is a Nepo baby? A Nepo baby, short for nepotism baby, is the child of an actor, musician, producer, or other industry insider who has likely benefited from their parents' fame connections while launching their own career. Let's embiggen this here so we can all see this article a little bit closer. Vulture introduced a few different categories. Not only is this thing a ridiculous topic to begin with, they've already categorized it. They've already categorized performers and everybody else into these different types of Nepo babies. You can't just have this ridiculous thing. Now it's a ridiculous thing that's been compartmentalized into lots of ridiculous things. They highlighted Gen Z performers on the come up, such as singer-songwriter Gracie Adams, daughter of filmmaker J.J. Abrams. Did I say Adams? I said Adams. Gracie Abrams, daughter of filmmaker J.J. Abrams. And Scream star Mason Gooding, son of Oscar winner Cuba Gooding Jr. Now, I must admit, I did not know that Gracie Adams was the daughter of I said it again. I did not know that Gracie Abrams was the daughter of J.J. Abrams. Never entered my head. And as we go down some of these lists here, that we'll see that I'll have these. Maybe it'll surprise some of you. It surprised me. Quite a few of these actually surprised me. Why? Because I don't give a shit who their parents are. I don't care. Are they a good actor, actress, or not? Are they a good musician or not? Are they a good producer or not? Are they a good director or not? That's all I care about. I don't care who their parents are. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Then there's the booked and busy Nepo babies. They're children of major stars who have more established careers, such as girl star Zosha Mamet, the daughter of David Mamet. I have no idea who she is, but I know her playwright dad. And of course, Lindsay Krause, an actor, Colin Hanks. Tom Hanks lookalike son. Now, Colin Hanks does look like Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks looked quite a bit like his dad. But so what? Who cares? Then there's the platinum grade Nepo babies. Ooh, we're getting up the list. The platinum grade Nepo babies who come from famous parents, but are definitely major players in their own right now, including Miley Cyrus, Dakota Johnson, and Kate Hudson. At the top of the pyramid are the Nepo baby graduates. Really? So this is where we bring in the old people, the elder generation, the ones who are Nepo babies, but nobody thought to call them that. Nobody thought to be offended by their existence. Who are these Nepo baby graduates? They come from families in the entertainment industry, but who are veterans to this point that no one cares. I'll tell you what, I didn't care way back here on the come up. I didn't care. I certainly don't care now. Now these graduates, Laura Dern, George Clooney, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Angelica Houston. Well, that's not a comprehensive list by any means. So who are some of the famous Nepo babies? This is by no means a comprehensive list, but here are some well-known actors, musicians, models, and influencers identified by Vulture and the internet in general as Nepo babies. Okay. Let's see if we care. The first one is obviously Colin Hanks. So he looks a little bit like if Colin Hanks and Gilbert Gottfried had a baby, but he looks enough like Tom Hanks that you could say, hey, this is my son, Colin. He needs a job, and some people might listen. That's his deal. Now, Lily-Rose Depp. Oh, shock. Oh, what? Really? Lily-Rose Depp? Her father's famous? God, who could her father be? Johnny Depp? But now look at this. Okay, let's say she has a famous father. This is a genetically beautiful freak. This is a genetic freak. I don't care who her parents were. Her parents could be sea slugs or walruses or giraffes for that matter. They could be the ugliest hominids on earth. And if she's looking like this with these genetics, she's going to be a superstar regardless of who her parents are. That's just a foregone conclusion. Depp, 23, is the daughter of Johnny Depp and Vanessa Paradis. She is a model, duh, and also has acted in films including Wolf and Silent Night. She has everything you would want in a model. You know, the slightly different than normal facial features, the waif-thin body. She has all of these. She's just genetically designed to do this, regardless of who her parents are. Bryce Dallas Howard. I had no idea. I just finished watching the new Jurassic Park movie, and I mean, literally just finished watching it like in a half hour before doing this. And I had no clue that was his daughter. I had no idea. Jurassic Park star Howard is the daughter of film director Ron Howard. Didn't have a clue, didn't care. No idea. You know what? I just said, okay, she's a decent actor. She's a good actress. I don't care who her dad is. Lily Collins. Again, who is Lily Collins' parents? Who I don't know, and I don't care who Lily Collins' parents are. Look at that face. That is a genetic anomaly. Nobody should look like this naturally. This is when the genetic freakery goes way in your favor. That is a darn near perfect face, and those eyebrows kill me. Y'all know I like noses. Eyebrows too. Brooke Shields was my babe when I was growing up. She's the daughter of Phil Collins. Didn't have a clue. Phil Collins is not the most attractive guy on planet Earth. Phil Collins sort of looks like a Muppet or one of those little dried up apple dolls. Even when he was young, he looked like Dr. Bunsen Honeydew from the Muppets. His daughter is freaking gorgeous. She's obviously going to be a star regardless of what she looks like. In the modeling, Maud Apatow, okay, we can just tell, we know her father, old Jay here, is just by virtue of her name. But again, she's a gorgeous woman. She's in HBO's Euphoria, daughter of Judd Apatow and Leslie Mann. Of course. If it was a troll crawling out from under a bridge wanting a job in Hollywood, unless they were looking specifically to cast a troll under a bridge, you're probably not going to get the job. Someone who looks like this is going to get the attention of people. Miley Cyrus, her clearly the daughter of someone famous, Billy Ray Cyrus, doing his song that I won't earworm you about. You all know what song that is, but it's an earworm of a song. It was his one big hit. His daughter Miley went in the business. Like her, hate her, she can sing. She's a good singer. A little bit goofy, a little bit weird, kind of goes mental every now and then, but she's a darn fine singer, if I do say so myself. Kate Hudson. See, this, I for some reason, I never knew this. I never knew this. I never knew that Kate Hudson was the daughter of Goldie Hawn and Bill Hudson. I just did not. I don't know why I didn't know that. I never did. But Kate Hudson is a hugely talented actress. If she sucked, it didn't matter who her parents were, she would fail. Hailey Bieber, I mean, this is probably one of the worst pictures you'll ever see of Hailey Bieber. Again, drop dead gorgeous. She has freaks for parents, especially her father. I mean, he's an idiot. He's a goofball, but you got to admit, when he was younger, if you're a woman, he was pretty darn easy on the eyes. A young Alec Baldwin. I'm sorry, I said Alec, didn't I? Stephanie. Stephen Baldwin. You know, come on. It doesn't matter. If you're a troll, you're not going to be famous in the modeling industry. As I said, this is probably the worst picture I've ever seen of Hailey Baldwin. She married Justin Bieber, so good for her. But yeah, I mean, she was destined to be a model from the day she was born. Does it matter who her parents are? Does it matter? Deacon Phillip. I have no idea. Reese Witherspoon and Ryan Phillip. I don't know who he is, but he looks like a sharp kid. He looks like someone who a talent scout would pick out. He looks like someone you would want to at least give a screen test to. And if he sucks, you're not going to want him in the movie. So we already talked about her. Dakota Johnson. Yeah, Melanie Griffith, Don Johnson, knew that. Zoe Kravitz. Who didn't know that Zoe Kravitz was the daughter of Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Bonet? She looks exactly like her mother did. Gwyneth Paltrow. Yeah, we knew Gwyneth Paltrow. She's somebody famous's daughter. I did not know that. Michael Douglas. Well, duh. You can't tell me that Michael Douglas would not succeed on his own. But let's stop here and talk a little bit about this whole phenomenon here with Michael Douglas. We'll use him as the example because he comes from this, this NEPO graduate thing that they were talking about. His father is Kirk Douglas. Back in the day, you didn't cancel someone. You didn't ostracize someone. You didn't question someone's right to be there. You had dynasties. These families were dynasties. Kirk Douglas, I mean, he and Michael Douglas, they form part of this Douglas dynasty in Hollywood. The Barrymores, where Drew Barrymore comes from. That's 3 generations of Hollywood royalty. You expected the children to come into the business. You expected the next generation of your dynastic thing going on here. And one thing you're going to do if you want to go into the same industry, if you say, hey, Dad, I really want to be an actor. If Michael Douglas goes to Kirk and says, hey, Dad, I want to be an actor. Can you help me out? And Dad says, sure, you do it. Or if Dad says, hey, you want to be an actor? I'll hook you up with some agents. I'll drop a good word for you. If you have an inroad into something, use it. Why are you ostracizing someone? So what? They've got a better advantage than you do in the acting industry. You think just because Michael Douglas is here, that means you don't have a seat at the table of actors and actresses? That's an idiotic thing. Oh, you don't have a fair shot because you're not royalty. How many people are these royalty? The fact we're using them as an example as shows you how small this pool really is in the grand scheme of acting. So the fact that you have to say there is this category of people that apparently don't deserve what they've got means that it's not that great of a thing. If it was everybody, then there would be nothing to talk about. You wouldn't have a chance anyway. But this is a ridiculous thing to criticize someone for who their parents are and for actually having the initiative, the forethought, and the plan to try to use their parents to whatever advantage they can. As long as the parents are willing to do it, go ahead and do it. If I was going to go into law and my father was a lawyer, I would go and use him. I'd say, Dad, I want a job. Well, as a matter of fact, at my firm, we've got 2 of the boss's daughters working as lawyers in my firm. That's just what you do. That's what you do. There's nothing wrong with this. And if you are that focused on canceling someone, you're going to keep creating and continuing to create these small, weird little groups of people that you think need to be canceled just because they don't come from your exact socioeconomic, political labor force. How dumb is that? Jane Fonda, again, Harry Fonda, Peter Fonda. It's the Fonda family. They're royalty in Hollywood. Jamie Lee Curtis, for God's sake. Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh, come on. These are royalty. And she is, she's been around for 50 years. Go back to the original Halloween. She was in Halloween #1. Drew Barrymore, we just talked about her, from a long line of Hollywood royalty. John Barrymore, granddaughters of John Barrymore and Dolores Costello, the grandniece of Lionel Barrymore. Just, these are people, and I have no idea who this person is, so we can skip on by, but Josh Brolin, Thanos. And weirdly, I knew there had to be some family connection because Brolin isn't a common name as far as I know. Josh Brolin is the daughter of Barbara Streisand's current husband, James Brolin. So Josh Brolin, son of James Brolin, I figured there was probably some familiar relation. I didn't care to find out what it was. Angelica Houston, holy crap, John Huston, one of the greatest directors that's ever walked planet Earth. Yeah, hey, you look at Francis Ford Coppola. Coppola had his daughter, Sophia. She sucked. She sucked hard in Godfather 3. Damn near ruined the movie single-handedly. But she's gone on. She said, okay, acting's not for me. I don't give a shit who my dad is. Acting, I'm not that great of an actor. But she's gone on to be a great director. And who's the cousin in the family? I believe it's Francis Ford Coppola's nephew. Is it his nephew? Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage's real last name is Coppola. Yeah, so he's part of this. Angelina Jolie, John Voight. John Voight's her father. Her brother she had a weird relationship with her brother. Her brother is equally as different looking and I guess maybe attractive from a woman's point of view. I don't know, but she has almost the same distinct facial features as her. You don't see him getting a shoe into Hollywood. So let's hear what these people that have been charged with the great crime of being a Nepo baby. What do they have to say about it? It's safe to say people have a lot of opinions about Vulture's guide to Nepo baby universe and about the topic of connections and privilege in general. The article sparked debate from commentators and from children of the famous themselves. Some were tongue-in-cheek. Eve Hewson, who is the daughter of U2 frontman Bono, seemed to joke on Twitter that she was pretty devastated about not being included on the list. She had been mentioned in one of them. Lily Allen, did not know the daughter of Keith Allen, did not know that. Tweeted that the dialogue around Nepo babies in Hollywood distracted from more pressing topics of privilege and inherited wealth that flies under the radar. The Nepo babies y'all should be worrying about are the ones working for legal firms, the one who works for banks, and the ones working in politics. If we're talking about real world consequences and robbing people of opportunity, but that's none of my business. And before you come at me for being a Nepo baby myself, I'll be the first one to tell you that I literally deserve nothing. They don't do this because they don't feel they deserve something. They want a shot at it, and they're using their best way in through somebody you know. If you are going into a building and you see a doorman at the door and you know the doorman, do you go, "Hi, Bob, good to see you this morning," and walk through the front door? Or do you try to climb through a back window, a side window, go through the back door, climb up through the sewer gates, rappel, zip line down from the next building? You don't make it more difficult than needs be to get into that building. And the same should be with whatever career or profession you're interested in. That's why we have networking events. For those of you that don't have family to get you in the door, go network. That's why we have them. So I'm not really convinced this is an issue. This is just something that people want to be outraged about. And I would be outraged if you were someone famous's daughter, you were someone famous's son, and you didn't use this to your advantage. I would be outraged at your stupidity, your ignorance, and your inability to think clearly about how you are going to get your goal. When you make plans to achieve your goals, don't plan to get there through the hardest way possible. Find the way to get there quickest, easiest, and the most efficient way that you can possibly wrap your mind around. And if that is using your parent, go ahead and do it. I'm out. Legal Vices saying bye. And I just about hit the end broadcast again. All right, so now I'll go back and read the comments and y'all can tell me what a jackass I am. All right, that was story number 2. All right, got to scrolling up here. We're almost up to the top here. Again, if you're just joining us, wondering what the hell I'm doing now, I'm just recording 4 or 5, maybe 6 little bits that I'm going to trim out and upload later. So that's why I'm not addressing any chats or anything while I'm doing the news story. I'm trying to keep these short, but damn it, I talk a lot. All right. Where are we at? I think we're up to the top of the story now. Nope. Yes. All right. Scrolling back down again, we'll read some of the comments that come by. You're all talking amongst yourselves because I'm talking. I did the poll. I'm an idiot, lol. How are we doing on the poll over here, by the way, guys? 370 likes and 533 concurrent viewers. Come on, people. 160 of you aren't doing your job. Get down there, hit that like button. And whoever is subscribed during all of this, love you. You're awesome. I know I spelled Shanquella wrong. You're not the first person to notice that. Make a onesie with law racks on the bum. Nah, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't want babies crapping all over me. I scrolled past all the Nepo baby crap. Yeah, the year of the nips. Door-to-door summer nipple salesman. All right. Aren't you on memes Discord? No, I do not Discord. It's a cesspool. It's a creepy, icky place. Yeah, they categorize everything nowadays. Exactly. And again, am I wrong for thinking that if you are going to do something, do it the easy way? Yeah, Kate. See, I did not know that for some reason. As you heard, is it wrong? I just can't imagine trying to go about doing something I want to do in the most difficult way possible. I'm scrolling down here. Everybody is mentioning the people that were eventually mentioned in the article. Paradis. It's a French name. Try harder. No. French names aren't worth trying harder for. Yeah, see, I did not know this was a Phil Collins daughter. I didn't know she was. Call me weird, but I had no idea. And Bass, malted milk balls, and Jada Pinkett Smith. Oh, the Smiths. Ugh. All the Smith children. Yeah. Now, see, that's where nepotism may be a bad thing. I forgot to mention. I didn't even think of mentioning the Smith kids as an example of when nepotism might be a bad thing. Why would I know who Ryan Philippe is? I've never seen anything he was in. Anyone remember you and me and Dupree? Nope. Huh. I just have no idea who he is. We get different shows here in Korea, I guess. Wild Red, thank you so much for the $5. And Nathan Hewitt, you as well. Dyer Morales says they only complain because they're not part of the in group. Normal people don't give two fucks about the pedo wood circle jerk. Well, exactly. And I'm sure that a lot of these kids are related to Weinstein. What have I missed? To be fair, just me ranting. We'll get back to some more rants here in just a second. I'm plowing through way too many chats here. He skipped Jane Mansfield's daughter. Who's Jane Mansfield's daughter? Don't make me do this. Why are you making me? Jane Mansfield, especially if I don't know who it is. Jane Mansfield's daughter. Mariska Hargitay? What? Who the hell is she? All right, never heard of her. Sorry. Most famous child. All right. Don't know who she is or what she's done. All right. Sorry, I'm an ignorant. I just do not know who her daughter is. Continuing to move right along here. Well, Nicolas Cage is his nephew. Yeah, that's what I thought. I just had to hedge my bets a little bit. She looks like John Voight. Yeah. Of course, now he's kind of old and crusty. Drama in front, party in the back. Mullet. Many of my favorite actors are children of famous actors, actresses. Didn't really notice until now. That's what I mean. We don't care. If they're good, they'll rise to the top. If they suck, they won't. And again, if your parents are actresses and actors, or if one of them is an actor or actress, there's probably a good chance that if you want to be an actor, you've taken direction or lessons or hints or suggestions from them. So would it be surprising to find out that some musician's child is a musician? John Bonham, anybody? Come on, really? You think his son, who is an amazing drummer in his own right, didn't grow up playing drums with dad? Come on, Flux. Wow, I came here and Jeff is yelling at me to fulfill my dreams. You go, Flux. Fulfill your dreams. Especially if you have like an artist parent. Go ahead. All right. Shouldn't you change your hat for each story? Nah, I'm too lazy for that. Drama in the front, party in the back. Again, with another super chat. Thank you very much. Imagine thinking Ken Griffey Jr. or Barry Bonds shouldn't be pro athletes because their dads were, despite being infinitely better athletes. Exactly. Yeah, it helps them to get in the door, but if they suck, they're not going to make it. You get one chance because of who your parents are, I guess. Jeff is just defending keeping the bougie and keeping the little guy eating shit just because they aren't born into the right family. Lol. Well, that's one way of interpreting it, but that would be the wrong way. They don't take all the spots. All righty. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Swan Lake Lady. You're here to Law and Order. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Now I know who the daughter is. All right. See, there you go. See, I just didn't know that was James Mansfield's daughter, and I didn't even know her. I didn't know her name. So hey, there was 2 strikes against me ever knowing who she is. Yoda, Dargy, why did you lick the sofa, you freak? All right. Dog looks ready to eat you. She's just kind of making a little nest back there. Seems she's been licking the sofa, so that's a weird spot. I have to cover that up here. All right. They do have Law and Order, but like I was saying, I didn't recognize her picture that I saw. I didn't know what her actual name was, and I didn't know she was Jane Mansfield's daughter. So there was 3 strikes against her. Yeah. Now I know who she is. Mike B, thank you so much for the super chat. Happy New Year, Jeff, and Happy New Year to you, Mike B. Jeff, thanks for the constant entertainment. By the way, you're only allowed to review the year from May when you started streaming. We're actually going to be doing probably Friday, I guess, or early next week. Some of the weirdest stories of the year. I'm not going to do a big year in review. I'm just going to do like the weirdest crimes of the year. Bass. Fave saying liquor in the front, poker in the back. Thank you for sharing. Cough, cough. Doggo wants something from Jeff. Doggo wants attention. Go to sleep, Strawberry. We'll pay attention to you here in about an hour. My grandma was a radio actress, but since acting on radio is no longer a thing, I didn't go into the family business. Well, now we have books on tape, which is kind of the same thing. Jacob's proud madre. It's no different than a son or daughter taking over a family business. Kinda. That's how I see it. You know. Yeah, I only started in May. Like the end of May. I made a couple of starter test videos kind of earlier in May, but really started going the end of May. It's 11 p.m. Why are all of my friends suddenly messaging me? Tell people to stop messaging me. All righty. It's called The Front Door by knowing someone in the same field, and there's nothing wrong with that. Exactly. All right. Lurking Strawberry. All right. It's time to set up the third story, which enraged me, but not enough to rant about for an incredibly long period of time. This will probably be our shortest story of the day because it's an unfair world again. Ugh. It's about Christmas and how we treat each other at Christmas. But I must really apologize. The friend sending me the letter was actually a colleague that requires a very quick answer. Give me 15 seconds here. Sorry about this. I deeply, deeply apologize. Please. I'm not doing work at 11 o'clock at night. All right. I'm done now. Boom, done. All right. That takes care of that. Okay, so what are we going to rant about next? What we're going to rant about next is, wait, what here? Flux. Flux says rude. What, like this is the first time you've met me? You know I'm rude. Yeah, this is about how difficult it is to be a Muslim in the United States during Christmas because everywhere around you, you just have things you don't celebrate shoved in your face. So, oh my God, what a terrible freaking world that is. Vicky T, how's your shoulder feeling and your scrapes from your fall? Yeah, it was a nice trip I had yesterday. Glad you didn't seriously hurt yourself. But most important, I didn't. Yeah, it was worth the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scrapes. 2 on this hand, 1 on this hand, and 2 on my knee because I saved the 3 liters of alcohol strapped to my back and the tablet that was there. But no, the shoulder hurts a bit. Neck's a little sore today, but we're good. Because for those of you that weren't here yesterday, I had a backpack full of booze and a Samsung tablet, and I was stepping up onto a curb, didn't lift my foot high enough, caught the edge of my toes on the curb, and sort of did a face plant. I couldn't do a gracious little somersault roll thing because of the glass on my back. I'd be punctured by shattered wine and whiskey bottles. So I just kind of had to face plant as gracefully as possible. And it's really hard to do a graceful face plant. Thank God nobody was there to see. But yeah, we're good. Just kind of, just had to take the brunt of it. A what tablet? A Samsung. I'm sorry, as you would say in the West, Samsung. It's Samsung, not Samsung. It's Samsung, and not Hyundai, or it's Hyundai or Hyundai or whatever the hell you call it. You guys call Hyundai cars. All right. Exactly, execution. Forget how Jeff is the booze. Okay, exactly. You got your priorities straight. So yeah, this is a little article here about how crappy it is to be a non-Christian in America during the holidays. And oh dear, what do we tell the little babies? How can I protect my daughter, my Muslim daughter from Christmas? I'm just going to do a straight read through, rant a little bit, and eject out of this one. This is just stupid. All right. Now, see, well, I'll drop the surprise on you here at the beginning. There's a surprise to this that somehow annoys me even more. All right, here we go. Full screen intro, Jeff. You want me to do a full screen intro? Well, you don't like this intro here? Well, I'll do this anyway. I like it, so I'm going to do it. Hyundai or Hyundai. Never. MG law, it's Hyundai. 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 Not Hyundai or Hyundai or Hyundai. 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 Yes. All right. That's out of the way. Goodbye comments for the next little bit here. I'm going to target this at about 10 minutes. Let's see how I do. It's all right. 3, 2, 1. Hi, Legal Vices here, bringing you another little short news story that's relevant today. It's the holiday season. It's Hanukkah, it's Christmas, it's Festivus, it's Kwanzaa, it's whatever you happen to be celebrating, pagan holidays, Yule, whatever you call it. It's a holiday season. But is it really that festive if you don't belong to the group? That's what we're going to talk about today. This article here, titled, "As a Muslim Mom, My Family Doesn't Celebrate Christmas, but We Can't Avoid the Fanfare." Well, now let me tell you what you can't avoid here. Yahoo Life or wherever this article first showed up. This was not the original title of this article. When I copied and pasted the URL for this, do you know what this article was called? This article was called "What It's Like to Get Through Christmas as a Muslim Mom." That's what this used to be called. It wasn't this, "As a Muslim mom, my family doesn't celebrate Christmas, but we can't avoid the fanfare." No, it was titled "What It's Like to Get Through Christmas as a Muslim Mom." Apparently, they went back and retconned the title of this article. So let's see what it's like to suffer through the horrors of Christmas as a Muslim mom. How traumatized is your child going to be if you don't celebrate Christmas? "Do you want a reindeer or a snowman?" the nurse asked my toddler after taking his blood pressure. He looked at me puzzled, not fully grasping what she meant. Snowman. Here, take a snowman. I intervened to help them out. The doctor's office was decked out in wreaths and red ribbons. My son was lured by the decorations. "It's pretty, Mommy," he told me. "Yes, it's really nice," I acknowledged. As a treat for how cooperative he was with the pediatrician, we made a quick stop at the library, only to be greeted by a gigantic Christmas tree with lots of presents packed underneath. Mesmerized by the lights, my son asked on what was new to him. Let's try this again. Mesmerized by the lights, my son fixated on what was new to him. The librarian bid us a hearty "Merry Christmas" before leaving. In the process of trying to keep my son at bay, I merely smiled and made an exit without him. Yeah, keep that little bit in mind. Ugh. Being a pandemic kiddo, he hasn't gone out much thanks to COVID-19. It's only this year that we've been exploring more, and in the process, a newfound issue is coming up, explaining the holidays, mainly Christmas, to my son. While folks are more generous and there is merriment in the air, the choice of words is critical. You see, my family and I are Muslims. Christmas is not a holiday we celebrate. While it's nice to see the decor and lights, in some ways, public space ought to be sensitive to different cultures and religions. Public spaces need to be sensitive to different cultures and religions. Keep that in mind. Especially if we don't observe a holiday. Oh, really? I have feelings. I have thoughts. Not doing so can feel coercive to many. There are only so many things we can opt out of without having a feeling of exclusion in the process. I honestly think the most harm comes from how it's presented as this innocuous, almost secular tradition when its roots are so decidedly pagan. Now, are we mad because it's Christian? Are we mad because it's secular? Or are we mad because it's pagan? Or are you just an uppity bitch that's mad at everything that's not yours? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get back to the article. Says Dr. Nuha Mulk, mother of a toddler girl. I can easily see future generations of Muslims celebrating Christmas because it's fun or seems harmless. Spoiler alert, they already are because they're not uptight bitches. Yet again, I get ahead of myself. But it can also alienate our children from our own traditions because, well, all right, I'm getting ahead of myself. Calm the hell down. She adds, how often do kids complain about how boring and underwhelming Eid celebrations are? There's no communal sense of joy in Eid or Eid. I'm sorry. No Muslim has ever asked me to be part of their tradition. Unless you really make an effort to be involved in the mosque and community, it can fall on a random weekday. There's very rarely a celebratory spirit. I think the message children take from that is that our holidays are unimportant. Mulk recalls her own experience trying to conceptualize Santa at age 5. I know Santa doesn't exist, but I want the gifts. And then I got over it because we would buy stuff on sale anyway, she says. Tarmin Khan, a coach and therapist and mother of a toddler, says watching present-day Muslims appropriate Christmas into Islamic culture draws the question as to whether or not these individuals have truly developed a sense of self, as opposed to following the bandwagon. This is frustrating because ideologies are being mixed, which is confusing to teach to the next generation who are being taught one thing at home and then seeing the exact opposite in some social settings, she said. Furthermore, the choice of whether to celebrate or not celebrate Christmas as Muslims causes an unspoken divide, which can be alienating, with some facing judgment for upholding religious values as opposed to fitting Christmas into Islam because it confuses and blurs the lines between religion and culture. Really? Children thrive on consistency, she adds, which means that learning one thing from religion and family that doesn't translate into social settings causes a split in identity and confusion regarding the sense of self. This is why Kushraman, mother of 3 children, strategizes her visits to public places during this time. I can't keep this under wraps any longer. I was trying to do a straight read and then comment, but I've got to call it here. Causes a split in identity and confusion regarding the sense of self. Going out and hearing Merry Christmas is going to cause you to have a split identity and you're not going to know who you are. If so, that means you've got really crappy parents that aren't teaching you their core values, their principles, that aren't teaching you about your familial beliefs, your family traditions and religion and whatnot. If you think your children are so susceptible to outside forces, maybe you need to be doing a little bit better job in the home to teach the core home values. Teach them your proper principles. Let them govern themselves. Let them figure it out. Help them figure it out. And this mother of 3 is strategizing her visits to public places. She recently went to a children's museum only to hear jingle bells blasting. Her daughter immediately committed the song to memory. So what? It's a song about riding on a sleigh through snow. What the hell is so wrong with it? By contrast, Rama notes that there are no tunes that play during Eid or Ramadan. Well, whose fault is that? Whose fault is it that Christmas has fun songs and your culture doesn't? Whose fault is it that your culture demonizes music and singing? You had Cat Stevens. You had Cat Stevens. What's his name now? Yusuf Islam. You had him away from music for 30 years because he thought he was violating the tenets of your religion by using his God-given talent of singing. Thankfully, he's reinterpreted Islam to fit his world and allows him to sing again. The lack of Christmas songs or Eid songs or Ramadan, whatever you have there, are your culture's, your religion's fault. Don't blame it on Christmas. Make some up at home if you feel like it. Do what you need to do. Similarly, when going to the library, she divides the trip between her husband and herself to gather whatever books and DVDs they want to choose for their children, so they don't have to deal with the kids being exposed to festive fanfare. I want you, now look at this. Look what I've done. I've highlighted everything. Look at this. Read this. The parents don't let the children go to the library and choose their own storybooks. The parents go to the library and they choose the books for their kids. That was half the fun as a kid growing up. Going to the library or going to the bookstore and getting to choose the ones that I looked at. You look, oh, this has got horses on the cover. Let's read about horses. I want this, or something else catches your eye and you read it. You have the parents, because they don't want to hear little Billy or whatever their kids' names are hearing jingle bells, so they don't take them to a library. That is utterly ridiculous. They don't want their children to be exposed to the festive fanfare. She says her request to libraries that they treat Eid and Ramadan in the same manner with events and activities have often been ignored. Often, not always, but often. For now, she's focusing on understanding that I can make it a change of environment or a change of conversation. Change the conversation. Explain. Take time out of your damn busy life and explain Christmas to your kids and explain why you as Muslims don't celebrate it. Explain the good parts of Christmas. Explain the parts you disagree with. Get it out there. Talk about it. This is ridiculous. What if there is a Christian family living in Saudi Arabia or living somewhere, you living in Afghanistan, or should they be walking around like, oh, what's it like to navigate the Muslim world as a Christian during Ramadan? I can't find a restaurant to eat at during the day. Oh, be sensitive to my stupid fucking foreign ways. No, adapt to where you are. Teach your children why you can't go out and do certain things at certain times of day. Learn about the culture you're living in. Learn to understand it, but keep your core values. I don't know what is so hard about this. I don't get it. I was upset in the beginning because I wanted to protect my kids as much as possible, Remen says. But then I explained to myself that I can't always close my kids' eyes everywhere they go or take them away in every situation. They'll have to figure out on their own what I've taught them to walk about from situations that don't matter to them. Exactly. So why not do it? Similarly, Mulk is worried about how this whole phenomenon can be more alienating to her daughter as she gets older. Right now, she's far too young to know what's happening, but it's always hard to explain to a 5-year-old child while we don't participate in this holiday. I expect her to feel less than. Oh, there's that woke word right there. I expect her to feel less than and rejected for not participating in the gift giving and other activities like I did, and it will be up to me and her dad to contextualize that and to ground her in her own traditions like I'd and make sure that she has a strong connection to the larger Muslim community. All right, let's go back and hit a couple of these points here real quick. Christmas is not a holiday we celebrate. It's nice to see decor and lights in some ways, blah, blah, blah. Now, looking at this story, I know that Christmas is one of the biggest holidays in Egypt. It's celebrated in Jordan. It's celebrated in a secular way. Okay, fine. But if you want to stick with this, let me make one important thing very, very clear here. There's one thing that we cannot leave out of this, and that is this beautiful document that we call the Constitution. And it's something that is always looked at over by, the we'll call them the left is a good way of calling it. The First Amendment, the first sentence, well, actually kind of the only sentence of the First Amendment, the first clause of the First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting or regarding. Congress shall make no law regarding an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Everybody, get this into your head, whether you're a Christian that doesn't like the Jews celebrating Hanukkah and Passover and all these other things, whether you're a Jew or a Muslim that doesn't like the Christians celebrating whatever. Congress shall make no law establishing a religion. That's not the question here. Congress shall make no law prohibiting the free exercise of religion. The idea is the government cannot hold and support a national religion, but they can't stop you from practicing your religion and your holidays, regardless of what they are. The fact that more people than not celebrate a particular holiday in your neighborhood doesn't mean they shouldn't be able to do it, or they should be sensitive to you. If I walked into the Hasidic part of New York as a Christian and started demanding they set up Christmas trees, they'd look at me like I was from another damn planet. Just because I'm outnumbered doesn't mean that I get to have things my way. Now, look, what do? You go into and the thing that pissed me off and what made me rant about this story was when she was talking about leaving the store with her daughter. And she said the lady gave a hearty Merry Christmas, and she just kind of, she grabbed her daughter to prevent her daughter from being sucked into this evil Christian cult. And she just kind of smiled and went out the door without responding. I hate you, whoever you are, woman. What do? You're not a Christian. Someone says Merry Christmas to you. What do? You smile and you say Merry Christmas back to them. You wish them a happy holiday that they're celebrating. Is that so fucking hard? If I walk up to a Jew that I know, and I do it all the time, not intentionally, but it happens, you say Merry Christmas. And one of two things is the only thing that has ever happened to me in 53 Christmases on this planet. Only two things have happened when I've said that. One, the Jewish friend or the Jewish acquaintance will say, Merry Christmas back to me without batting an eye, or they'll say Happy Hanukkah to me. Those are literally the only two things that's ever happened. Is it so hard to celebrate with people, to respect other people's views? Someone wishes you happy Hanukkah. I'll say Happy Hanukkah back to them. If you're not sure, if you want to be super woke, and this is where I draw my limit, I'll say Happy Holiday. If you're not celebrating any of the holidays, fuck it, I am. So I'm going to say Happy Holidays to you, no matter what you say to me or how you react to me. Is it that hard just to be kind to someone and to share a little bit of spirit, a good spirit of friendship, cooperation, love, and world peace? Is it so hard? Is it wrong? No, it's not. And it disgusts me now that we have to be sensitive to every little thing around us. If someone says Merry Christmas to you, smile, say Merry Christmas back. If someone says Happy Hanukkah to you, smile, say Happy Hanukkah back to them. Someone says, Merry Festivus, you say Merry Festivus back. If someone says Happy New Year, say Happy New Year. If someone says Happy Holidays, say Happy Holidays. It's not that difficult. And for how do I navigate Christmas? You just do it. You go about your daily life. Your kid has questions, you answer them. Be kind, be loving, be respectful, and don't make me swear on the holidays. Legal Vice is out. Oh my God, I actually clicked the first time of end broadcast. Thankfully, StreamYard has a redundancy here. You have to click end broadcast twice. actually clicked it once that time. Holy crap! We got 600 comments through that. How in the hell am I going to go back through 600 comments? All right, there's no way I can go back through 600 comments. I can't go all the way back and pull up these super chats either, because that would take forever just to scroll back through. So what I'm gonna do is I'll read the super chats. I'm sorry. Let's see, when is the first one? 11:03. Yeah, the first one was like 30 minutes ago. Mike B says, "Happy New Year, Jeff. Thanks for the constant entertainment. By the way, you're only allowed to review." Oh, we already did that. You're from the end of May. We already got to that one. Jacob's Madre. Okay, we're here. Flux with Rude. All right, we can go up to 11:13. That's only 16 minutes ago. Let me scroll up here real quick. That was 17 minutes. Holy crap! Whatever. I try not to rant so much, but these stories are so frustrating. Wow, you guys ranted a lot. I'm gonna have to go back later and look at all these. I need to watch Joe to hone my ranting skills. Joe and I rant differently. I don't want to rant like Joe. I rant like me. I like the way I rant. Joe needs to watch me to hone his ranting skills. Geez, guys, you guys were like talking up a frickin' storm here. We've got 600 people and 524 likes. You guys are awesome. You're catching on to the game. And it's probably all because Corn Pope gave me that idea about the poll. Yeah, all right, I can't. This is taking me forever to scroll back even the last 10 minutes. So I'm just going to read these super chats here. I apologize, guys. Flux says, "This kind of pisses me off. We are a melting pot. Get with all traditions." Exactly. If a Muslim comes up to me and wants to, and I have questions about Ramadan or whatever, I'm going to go talk to a Muslim. Or if it's a Muslim season and a Muslim says something, I'm going to go, "Oh, what does that mean?" I do that with Jewish friends all the time, or Catholic friends. I'm always curious as to, I watch midnight mass usually. I haven't the last couple of years, but because I think it's beautiful. I think it's interesting. I think I can learn something from it. It doesn't mean I have to convert to Catholicism just because I watch, midnight mass and things like that. I don't get it. I really, really don't. Irish I Was Drunk says, "Jesus, if we're talking about pronouncing things, then I may leave. With my accent, nothing is said right." Oh, Irish I Was Drunk. Tune in next Monday. We're going to be doing a little Irish Maritime Monday. So we might need your services next Monday. Aspen Fallen, the super chat, "As an atheist, can confirm this is stupid." Exactly. One holiday tradition and get behind his elf on a shelf. Exactly. All right, and Nicola Maxwell, epic rant, beautifully said, with a magnificent hat. Yes, my hat from the Aaron Wool Market, in Ireland. Come on, Ireland, give me a sponsorship here. Those are the super chats. Vicky T says, "It expands your mind to know about other religions." Yeah. So what's wrong with a solemn high mass? Is indeed beautiful. Yeah. Jews in secular state of Rome murdered Christ. Some people say, "Oh, come on, Barabbas. Release Barabbas." Thought that said something else. That's why I read it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have read it. Whatever. I've actually explained to my kids about the origins of Christmas and the connection to the magic mushroom. The conifer Christmas tree keeps the mycelium in mushrooms flourishing and vice versa. There you go. I'm a ladle. I'd rather stir. I'm told that the teachers who pushed that elf. I'm told it was the teachers who pushed that elf on the shelf nonsense. Irish I Was Drunk, count me in. Great. I hope we see you there. And thank you again for the super chat. Yeah, Patty, we know. Ecopus, not going to read that one. Exactly. I'm not a practicing Catholic anymore, but I still love the midnight mass. Also, the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. Yeah, who doesn't love the Mormon Tabernacle Choir? Oh, I can't listen to the Mormon Tabernacle sing Christmas songs because I'm an atheist or a Muslim. Okay, fine. Miss out on some beautiful, beautiful music. Go ahead. Jacob's proud madre, Jeff. I've been happily married for almost 22 years, but I have to say that was the hottest rant that I've ever seen. I think I need to let my hubby know that I have a crush on someone else. Don't do that. I don't need hubbies to come looking for me. Wow, I've got to kind of trim the sides here. I'm looking. My head is looking bigger than it is, and that never needs to happen. Be a Zoroastrian, exactly. Why not? If that's your thing, if that's your grip, do it. I don't listen to cult music. All righty. Let me get the mustache ready here. Dry over here, kind of poking at my nose. Jeff is woke, sadly. Nah. Nikki to y'all. Jeff, love your face. All right. God. All right. This is Idaho stuff. I'm just gonna read this. I don't have a big rant about it. This is just an update on two issues regarding the Idaho case. Want to read just two quick articles. Then we'll talk about sex dolls because I know that's why you're all here. You're all here for the sex dolls. Then we'll do the Bradley Yohn case and we'll be done. All right, let me take a breath here. All right. Oh, ever since you start doing searches for sex dolls on on your browser, the pop-up ads are interesting. I have to try to trim out as many of those as possible. All righty. Lorax sex doll. Talk to Dollhouse Phil. Oh God. Oh, that's like, is that a furry? You have a Lorax sex doll? Is that a furry? Huh. There's philosophy. No, I seriously want to, like, some of these I want to expand into a show. Like I could definitely do a Dollhouse Phil show. That would be fun. All right. No, that's just Bigfoot. All right. Let's see. Which one do we want to do first? All right, we'll do this one first. This is the police chief saying Idaho student slayings, the families are not being excluded because we have Steve. Now, all right, everybody, this is where you say Steve did it because that's all what you want to say, but he didn't do it. So don't even say Steve did it. Steve had nothing to do with it. He's just a bit of an overwrought tool. You guys are doing great. See, isn't it wonderful when I don't have to keep harping on smashing the like button? I owe all of this to Corn Pope, I believe. That was a really good idea, Corn Pope. You rock. To put up this little poll to remind people. Let's see how the poll is doing. I hit the like button and subscribed because I'm naturally smart. That's 60% of you, so good. I was reminded to do it, 10% of you. I'm slow, but catch on eventually. 14% of you. And I'm an idiot, but I did it now. 15% of you. All right, we'll check back there in a little bit. And 2 people have decided they no longer want to participate in my channel because of my rants, I guess. Well, go fuck yourself. How about that? Oops, I shouldn't have said go fuck yourself. I already said fuck a lot of times. Gotta stop saying fuck, otherwise I'll get nailed. Wait. Okay. All right, you had to get that air system, did you, Flux? Steve did it. Yeah, no, Steve did not do it. Steve was nowhere around. Steve has nothing to do with this. He's just a little bit excited. He's an excitable person. All righty, here we go. Let me clear the sinuses. Boom. All righty. Goodbye, chat. I swear to God, this isn't going to go very long at all. Famous last words. Big and me. Nope, too big. That's what she said. All right. What am I, 3? All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hi, Legal Vices here, bringing you a short update, a very, very brief update, hopefully, on the University of Idaho killings and some incidents surrounding them. The Idaho 4, as they're being called, are still in the news. There's everyday updates. Some of them are more important than others. Some aren't. But one thing we've been having recently is complaints from the father of young Miss Gonzalez that was murdered. Her father, Steve, has been very, very critical of the police, the way they're handling it. He's accused them of incompetence. His wife, she's gotten in on it and is critical. And then last week, even their lawyer got into it, questioning the ability of the police to handle this. So now the police chief has responded to these allegations or these assertions that the families are being excluded. Let's see what he has to say. The police chief leading the investigation of Idaho student slaying says families aren't being excluded. The police chief of Moscow, Idaho, on Wednesday defended his department's handling of the investigation into the killings of 4 University of Idaho students and pushed back the notion families are being left in the dark. Every family wants a little bit different information, and we have a liaison with each of the families that we talk to them daily. Moscow Police Chief James Fry said, adding that local prosecutor's office also has a liaison who is in regular contact with the victims' families. We pass on as much information as we can to them. As I stated, there's information that we've held back. And we know it frustrates them, Fry said of the families, but we ask them to be patient. We ask them to trust us and that we're going to continue to move through this until we have a completion in the case. Again, this is what I've said many, many, many times. The police do not always release every piece of information. They keep many of the important details to themselves, many of the suspicions and the conclusions to themselves, and a great deal of the evidence to themselves because they want someone to talk. They want someone to say something to the wrong person. They want to bring in someone for questioning. Even if they've publicly cleared that person, they may not have cleared them privately. Your family, friends, whoever, strangers, they may say, okay, this person is not a suspect. Even if the person is a suspect, to get them to say something when they call. Well, we need to bring you in for just one. We have a few more questions we'd like to ask you. They spill some beans that hasn't been made public, and then the police can center on them and say, okay, that is not something that's been released to the public. The only way you could have known that is if you were there. This is why they don't release all of the information. This is just one of the reasons. The unsolved slayings of the 4 University of Idaho students in an on-campus residence on November 13th has placed a spotlight on the small police force's efforts. The case has been dogged by mixed messages from authorities who initially said that the targeted attack posed no lingering threat to the community, although Fridays later, hey, editing, it's a thing in the news world, people. Told reporters he couldn't say whether the killer or killers may be. Where the killer or killers may be. No suspect has been named, and the weapon, believed to be a large knife, has not been found. 3 of the victims shared the home, and the 4th was Kernoodle's boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, who was staying overnight. Authorities believe they were killed in their sleep, although some had defensive wounds. A spokesman for the Idaho State Police said a family liaison has been assigned since the beginning, with each family wanting different levels of contact. A spokesperson for the Chapin family said in a statement that they are beyond grateful for having a police liaison and that there's an ongoing and open line of communication so we may remain knowledgeable about any new happening before the public. That's the important thing. The Gonzalez family have been vocal about what they perceive as poor communication during the investigation. Shannon Gray, a lawyer for the Gonzalez family, also said that while a Moscow police office official sends an email to them once a day, information has fallen through the cracks. Christy Gonzalez, Kaylee's mother, told NBC Today show last week that authorities never notified her first before they asked the public for tips about a white Hyundai Elantra, a car police have described as potentially critical clue. Christy Gonzalez said she found out about the vehicle from her daughter, who read about it in news articles. The United States just found out the same time I did. So, Christy Gonzalez says, adding that the investigation has her feeling left in the dark. Following an inquiry from NBC News, Moscow police forwarded an email including the release that was sent to Gray at 2:24 p.m. on December 7th. The spokesperson, Robbie Johnson, said the mail was an example of a message aimed at keeping the Gonzalez family informed. But Gray told Today that he was not sure Moscow police are capable of handling a quadruple homicide, and that if that's the case, they should turn the investigation over to someone who is more versed in handling these types of matters. Now, we know it's not just them. They have police from all over the area. They have FBI agents from all over the country. They have more than 100 officers working on this case. It's not just the tiny little Moscow Police Department. Fry told NBC News Wednesday that his department can handle the investigation, which is getting help from dozens of state and federal agents with expertise in crime scene analysis and DNA collection. But he declined to speak in detail about the case or best leads, saying that police must protect the integrity of the investigation and also don't want to taint a potential jury pool if there is a trial. I know that's very frustrating, Fry said. It's frustrating to family members and the community, but our end goal is to bring somebody to justice for those families and for those victims. But Gray said time will tell if the police's decision to hold back certain details in the case has been the right one. Trust is earned, Gray said Wednesday, and they need to remember that because the way they have handled things so far haven't garnered much trust. So here you have the police saying, we're keeping everybody informed. Everybody wants more details than others. The Gonzalez family clearly wants every single little detail. They want to, essentially, from the way their gripes sound, they want to lead the investigation. They want to determine who gets released what. We've seen it time and again. The father, Steve, has asked, he said he wants to release information to the public, and the police have said no. He's already said too much on a few occasions, even admitting in some interviews that he has said too much. Then the wife joins in, then the lawyer joins in, whereas you have another family who is perfectly happy and very, very grateful for every piece of information they get, while also understanding that some things have to be kept close to the chest. There's been no real developments. They found a white Hyundai Elantra that was abandoned in Oregon that turned out to have nothing to do with this case. Other than that, not a lot's going on. I mean, they're doing what they can, but a very, very, very large number of murders are never solved. They just have to keep doing their best, keep it fresh, keep it open, and keep going. But that's not the only update dealing with these murders. There's also some things on the sleuth side. There's one quick story here I want to get through. An Idaho professor sues TikToker over allegations about killing of 4 university students. Now, this is the internet sleuths. These are the people that potentially blow this investigation out of the water, just to shreds. They destroy the investigation. Any tip that comes in on these hotlines, the police have to investigate it. They have over 10,000 tips that have come in so far. They have to invest the time, effort, and money to investigate all of these. When people are just saying random things that a ghost told them, or they read some tea leaves somewhere, or they heard something, or they thought something, this can bog down the investigation and keep the resources away from finding the real problems. But where you cross the line is this professor who is having to sue this woman who has fingered her as the suspect, who has repeatedly on TikTok named this professor as the person who committed the murders. A University of Idaho professor who says she's been wrongly accused of the unsolved killings of 4 college students last month. Oh yeah, thank you. I have a scan thing here in my way. There we go. It's now gone. Why not? Was wrongly accused of ordering the unsolved killings of 4 college students last month, is alleging defamation in a federal lawsuit filed this week against the self-described internet sleuth who posted the allegations on TikTok. The suit filed Wednesday in Idaho District Court by History Department Chair Rebecca Schofield also accused the TikTok user Ashley Gillard of falsely alleging that the professor had planned the killings with another University of Idaho student. Now let's find out how ridiculous this is. The videos began appearing on the platform November 24th and have been viewed millions of times, according to the suit, which says Gillard claims to solve high-profile murders using tarot cards and by performing other readings. The lawsuit appears to be the latest example of what one expert called dangerous speculation surrounding the quadruple homicide in Moscow, Idaho on November 13th. Authorities haven't identified any suspects in the killings, nor have they found a murder weapon, which police have said they believe to be an edged weapon, such as a knife. The Moscow Police Department have previously called out what it described as misinformation, stoking community fears, and spreading false facts in the case. The department includes a rumor control section on its website under frequently asked questions about the case. The department didn't immediately respond to a request for comment on the suit, but according to the suit, Schofield, who began working at the university in 2016, never met the slain students, nor had they taken a class with her. The suit says she was with her husband in Portland, Oregon, visiting friends when the students were killed. After a lawyer for Schofield sent a cease and desist letter to Gillard on November 29th, she kept posting what the suit calls defamatory videos. After sending a second cease and desist letter on December 8th, Gillard showed the document in a TikTok video and said Schofield would need to, quote, file actual legal documents in federal court, asking her to remove them, the suit says. Well, this is a classic case of fuck around and find out, because a week and a half later, Gillard posted more than 20 videos falsely alleging that Schofield was involved with the students and alleging she ordered the killings to conceal the relationship. Professor Schofield has never met Gillard, the suit says. She does not know her. She does not know why Gillard picked her to repeatedly falsely accuse for ordering the tragic murders and being involved with one of the victims. Professor Schofield does know that she has been harmed by these false TikToks and false statements. The suit adds that the allegations triggered significant emotional distress and damage to Schofield's reputation. Yeah, I would imagine being accused worldwide of being involved with a student and then ordering their murder to cover that up, and the murder of their friends to cover that up, would be a significant damage to your reputation and cause some emotional distress. She fears that Gillard's false statements may motivate someone to cause harm to her or family members. As you've seen, the taco truck, either the food truck guy is getting death threats. The guy that lived down the street that was yelling at his wife one night, the police had to get called. They're getting death threats. Everybody that's involved in this that's ever been named is getting death threats. I can't imagine what she's going through. She's adding that she recently installed a security system in her home. In an email to NBC News, Gillard reiterated her allegations against Schofield. Neither Schofield nor TikTok immediately responded to requests for comment Friday night. So here you have this woman who's reading tarot cards, doing other readings, and apparently she's made up her mind that this professor is the murderer, even though she wasn't there, and she was having a relationship with one of the students, even though they've never met, and doing all of these things. This is not a good situation. This seems like very, very fertile ground for an intentional infliction of emotional distress and a defamation claim. But then again, what assets does this woman have to satisfy a judgment that might be given in front of the professor in the professor's favor? But it's good if you can have that "I didn't do it" document. We'll just have to see, because again, crazy tarot woman, she's innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, that's not okay. Well, it's not a criminal charge. So I guess we don't have to have a presumption of innocence. She's not being charged with the crime. It just has to be proven, more likely than not, that she did this. You have to have the evidence. It has to be presented there. She's going to bring her evidence as to how this woman is the actual murderer. And the lady, she's going to, in her claims, she's going to bring the evidence as to how this is false and how she was emotionally damaged by it and how she was slandered and how she suffered the financial damages. It's a stupid case. Lady, give it up. I would issue all the possible apologies that I could if I was her. If I was her lawyer, I would recommend that she do whatever it takes to make this thing go away and stop being an idiot. She'll have to see whether she gets the financial hammer at the end of the day or not. But I do have a copy of the defamation claim. We'll probably be going over that in the next week or so. So those are just the two quick updates. One of them, the police are saying we're doing what we can. One family is satisfied. Another family is less than satisfied. And we have a woman who's been sued in civil court for defamation for being said that she is the person that committed these murders due to tarot card and other readings. Let the police do their job. If you have any valid or vital or relevant pieces of information, let the police know. If you're sending them down some rabbit hole or in some wild goose chase because you saw the face of Jesus in a potato chip and the potato chip spoke to you and told you who did it, don't bother the police. I'm Legal Vices. Bye. And I just clicked that end broadcast button again. Damn. So yeah, that's the news from Idaho. We'll read the complaint here probably in the next week or so. At some point, it's like 12 pages. It's really wild, the things that this woman has gone through. This poor professor has been suffering a bit. All righty, where are we at here? No, I got to see how far back we got to go to get these. All right, that's where we are. Legal Vices is never brief. I know, but hey, it was that time. I don't know if anybody kept the time for me, but I think I was pretty brief and to the point. Legendary Racing says, did I just hear Steve did it? No, you didn't just hear Steve did it. You heard Steve did not do it repeatedly. Repeatedly. Stop it. Don't make comments hate me. Large knife like a chef's knife, like any knife that's, yeah. Yep, outside the body, but in the right place. I don't even know what that was about, but hey. I like reading these things, ding, ding, ding. I don't know what that was about either, but I assume I'm right. I respect Christmas and everyone who celebrates it. I just lost my respect for you today. Why? Why did you lose my respect for me? Why did you lose your respect for me? That's weird. I respect Christmas and everyone who celebrates it too. Did you misinterpret something? Okay, I'm not following. If Anissa, if you're still here, let me know why you lost your respect for me today. It seems like we're on the same side of that particular fence. Okay, that was weird. That's exactly my point. Respect everybody, whether they're Christian, Muslim, Jew, Zoroastrian, alien, whatever they are. Respect them and respect their holidays and learn from it. That's my point. I don't know what point you got out of it or what you thought I was saying. But yeah, I'm scrolling down here to see. That's the only comment you've made. If you're still here, please make another comment and tell me. That's kind of weird, isn't it? All right, whatever. Anisami. Yep. All right, still scrolling down here for more super chats to make sure I didn't miss anything while still trying to find out why Anissa Me has lost her respect for me today. No. Huh. You should interview her about the lawsuit. Well, if I was her lawyer, I would say, no, don't do any interviews. I wouldn't ask her to do, I would never, if someone's in the middle of a lawsuit, I would never ask them to do interviews or comment about the lawsuit. Don't want to be the one who says too much. And this is me. I don't see you. Legendary Racing. I feel like I haven't done my job until Jeff gets a cease and desist letter from Steve. Don't do that. Now, by the way, cease and desist letters, don't send them. If you're going to sue them, just sue them. If you send a cease and desist letter, that's a pretty good sign you're not going to sue them. If you send them two, that means you're really not going to sue them. You're just trying to intimidate them into stopping. But at least she didn't send a third when she actually went through it and filed the lawsuit. Don't tell them you're going to file a lawsuit. Just bring the hammer down on them hard, fast, and furiously out of the blue so they can't prepare for it. Xcomer Triple Z, amazing how well Corn Pop's tip is working. Well, that's what she does. That's her thing. She knows marketing. My Christmas light said, he sees you. He sees you when you're sleeping. Creeper. Anissa May, you lose these nuts. Okay. Is Anissa Me of a different faith? I don't know. I don't care whatever faith she is. I support her holidays, and I would love to learn about her holidays. Yeah, what the hell did Jeff do? Confused. Yeah, respect me, damn it. Can't lose what you never had. Fair enough. Well, misinterpretation me things. That's the only thing I can think too. No, respect the individual if they're worthy of it. What we're talking about is like, you just respect the person and their traditions, I guess the best way of saying. I agree with and like your point, Jeff. This isn't a channel for sensitive peeps. False religion should not be respected. Well, let me guess, Patty, that would be the Catholic Church is the one that is the real one, right? Because we know you're a devout militant Catholic, but interestingly enough, everyone else thinks the Catholics are the right. That's the beauty of being a religious zealot. You think you're the only right one, and every other religion thinks you're the wrong one. But anywho, respect everybody. You don't have to believe what they believe, but respect their beliefs for what they have. Jeff, you have gained my respect today, if that helps. Well, thank you, Tia. Yes, is she kidding? I don't know. I hope she's kidding. That was just weird. Navy B says, I also lost my respect for you for no reason at all. Okay. Could be the wallpaper. Yeah. I know that's why Soy Mafia, and that's why she doesn't respect me, because she doesn't like my green wallpaper. It's really not. I'm getting a new camera, by the way, because this was an expensive camera too, but the color just sucks. My wallpaper is not neon green like this. It's actually rather subdued, and the saturation is way down on this. This is just a crappy camera. So I will be getting a new camera in the next little bit. American Dreamer never had respect for me. Congratulations. I planned on losing respect for you on Thursday. Just warning you ahead of time. Oh, will you respect me in the morning? It's supposed to be a joke. What have you done? Exactly. If you're still here, please feel free to tell me why you lost all respect for me today. And all right, now everybody in chat has lost respect for me. All right, whatever. The Apostle Steve said, hope everyone had a good Christmas with family and friends. Vice Squad rocks. Jeff, I noticed you failed to mention our Lord and Savior, the Flying Spaghetti Monster. I forgive you. Hey, I respect the Flying Spaghetti Monster. And just in case you're wondering, I was one of the very early members of the Church of Bob. Just in case you wanted to know. Oh, she said she's joking. Okay. All right. Well, that's good. I missed that. That was weird. Okay. If you're gonna joke like that, make it a joke. I get sensitive. No, and you're really a black dude, Jeff? What? Actually, never mind. I'm not gonna tell that story. It's funny to me. I'll tell it next time Drex is on. Maybe he'll give me a pass for telling a story about a black person. Flux, she was just joking, so $5. I'll give you your $5 back. People get butthurt over the most stupid things, just like Kurt. Don't say that on my stream. If you're here, Kurt, hi. I just read them. I don't write them. Just don't be a wiener. All right. They broke Jeff. Alrighty, are we ready for the sex dolls? Flux coming in hot. Flux is always hot. I don't like crybaby pussies. All hail the Pastafarians, the Church of the Subgenius. Yep, there you go. As I said, one of the early members, Bob. Those who know Bob know the Church of the Subgenius. But the colors are off. I was born a poor black child. Yeah, that's the. For those of you that don't know, I have said that several times. I was born a poor black child. That's actually the opening lines of The Jerk, the movie The Jerk with Steve Martin. It's funny. It's a joke. We used to joke about those things. Garrett Pace, I'm not reading that. It's funny, but I'm not reading it. Bring in the sex dolls. Oh, here comes the Baldo. Yeah, you guys haven't been using the Baldo emoji very much lately. I'm ashamed of you. They're only Catholics in heaven. Weirdly, that's what Mormons say too, and what most religions say as well. Patty Leather is here for the sex dolls. Yep. Who isn't? We're all here for the sex dolls. Leroy Jenkins. Absolutely. You can never have too much Leroy Jenkins in your life. Okay. Thanks for that, Andrew. That really made my night. All right, The bulldozer hanging on the Christmas tree. Oh yeah, my knuckle hurts where it hit the dirt too. It kind of gets a little bit. Eh. Oh my God, I call my dog that. You call your dog Leroy Jenkins. All right. Alrighty. Here we go. It's time for the sex dolls. Got two more stories, sex dolls, and a brief background on Bradley Yohn. I almost kind of want to do that later. Oh my God. Wait, what? Oh, wait, time out. Hang on. Do I need to discuss this breaking news? Wow. No, that's a year old. Never mind. I don't have to talk about that. Good. That was a piece of news I didn't know about from Korea here. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, well, not children of all ages, that would be wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls over 18 years of age. Oh, all right, here we go. This is just kind of fun. Patty Leather says Mormons are wrong. You cannot compare a desert cult created by a con man to the foundation of Western civilization and the salvation of humanity, the Catholic Church. Well, let's do that. Let's assume your comments are right. A desert cult created by a con man to the foundation of Western civilization and the salvation of humanity. You cannot compare a cult that came out of the deserts of Egypt into Jerusalem, created by a man who his own father acknowledged wasn't his own offspring, who claimed to be the king of the Jews. Those stories sound weirdly similar to me. I don't know. So you can't compare one desert cult created by one con man to another part of history. That's interesting. So it depends how you look at it. All right, to all those of you who were just offended by that, I was joking. I'm just showing you how that actually literally described the origins of the Christian church and the Catholic Church being the offshoot of that. So yeah. Potato, just wanted to say that. I thought it was funny. There you go. Funny, jokes aside, as I said, I love everybody. Well, most everybody. And respect their beliefs. Here we go. We're going to go back to COVID times here. This one I'm going to start out with me in full screen. All right. This is a real thing, by the way. This was so funny. This story had people, at least foreigners and smart Koreans, about a year and a half ago, glued to the TV going, "What are we watching? Oh my God." All right, here we go. Stand by for sex dolls. I really wish we could play music on this. Yeah, because I'd like to have like Tom Jones' sex bomb playing in the background while we do this. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hi, Legal Advices here, bringing you some important, hard-hitting news. Stand by for sex dolls. To get to this important part of the story, we've got to go back in history about 18 months. We've got to go back to the pandemic times. South Korean football club fined $81,300 or 100 million Korean won after filling the stands with sex dolls. Yes, this really happened. This is a true story. The South Korean football team FC Seoul has said it has been handed a 100 million Korean won fine after being accused of placing sex dolls in its stands to add to the atmosphere during a closed match. Back in the COVID times, Sporting events continued to take place in Korea. That's how the Western world became aware of the existence of Korean baseball. There was no baseball being shown in America, so they opted to to broadcast the Korean Baseball League games, where the games were going on, but there was no fans allowed in the stadiums. And to make it look like there was more, and this happened with all the other sports as well: basketball, volleyball, uh, soccer or football or foosball, depending where you're from. We'll just call it soccer because, hey, I'm American. The soccer teams, the basketball, all the other teams, they would put up cardboard cutouts of people, fans. They would put them in the stands where the camera is focused on most of the time, just for, giggles, to make it look like there's people there, but just to have a little bit of fun with it. They would put jerseys on chairs, put cardboard cutouts. But the FC Seoul Club decided to take a little bit further, and they placed some sex dolls in the stands to add to the atmosphere during a closed match. Sporting events around the globe have been halted because of coronavirus, but South Korea's K-League is one competition that is pushing ahead with matches without spectators. But FC Seoul sparked controversy on Sunday. Again, this is Sunday in May of 2021. During his home match against Gwangju in South Korea's top football championship, with the club being accused of using sex dolls to fill its stands. The club apologized, and the K-League has handed down a 100 million Korean won fine over the incident, according to a spokesman for the team. FC Seoul told CNN on Thursday that it would humbly accept the decision. The K-League did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Fans criticized the club online and said it had blown the chance to show off. Poor choice of words. It had blown the chance to show off the K-League to an international audience. FC Seoul messed up the league. FC Seoul messed it up, making the league look salacious, wrote one. It's really ugly and dirty. There you go. There's the crowds that were put in the stands at the game. So how did this happen? It's still funny 18 months later. However, others said the whole incident had been blown out of proportion. Those who don't even watch football normally are turning this into a thing, wrote another fan. Honestly, people who don't really care about this junk think they're just mannequins and don't pay any attention. Well, if you look up here, some of these pictures, I don't know if we can, how much bigger we can, no, this is one of these deals that if we make it bigger, it actually makes it smaller. Let's see if we can embiggen this picture here. No, I guess that's as big as we can get it. I don't know if you can see this or not. Let me full screen this just for the full effect. Yeah, there's some large pointy assets here that may clue you off to the fact that this is not just a normal department store mannequin. Those are some very, there must be a nice stiff breeze in mannequin land. Let's just put it that way. You can go away, big advertisement. Let's bring this back in again and get on with the story. That's while fan opinion is divided as to whether the club did anything wrong, the prevailing opinion seems to be that the management handled things poorly. The dolls were in the stands for FC Seoul's second game of the delayed K-League season at the weekend, surprising those who tuned in to watch the game. Some of the figures were holding signs for a company that makes sex dolls. Well, that comes into play later here. And fans pointed out that they looked like adult dolls rather than mannequins. Responding to criticism, the club issued an apology on Instagram and Facebook on Sunday regarding the cheer mannequins that were installed during the game on the 17th. We sincerely apologize for causing deep concerns to the fans, the statement said. FC Seoul explained that although the dolls were made to look like real people rather than conventional mannequins, that's one way of putting it, anatomically correct in all respects, it had checked that they were not at all related to adult products. No, they look like sex dolls. They look better and more realistic than mannequins. They have parts where most mannequins ought not have parts, but no, just not at all related to adult products, before agreeing to install them, and had been told that they would be mannequins of the kind commonly used to model clothes. Staff went through the confirmation process that they were not adult products several times, said the statements. If you have to go through the process of making sure they're not sex dolls several times, you should have gone through it a few more. And didn't notice that an ad for adult products was visible on the day of the game. You mean the mannequin that was holding the sign advertising the sex doll company that made them? You didn't notice that? Okay. This is our fault without excuse, said the club. Regardless of the reason, we apologize again for creating great concern to the fans who love and cheer for FC Seoul. The South Korea League is just one of a handful of football leagues currently playing matches. We don't need to read this. So why are we talking about this 18-month-old sex doll event that happened in Korea? Why? Because, well, here's the answer right here. I'm gonna bring this up in a different screen. Hold on. Boom, there we go. South Korea ends ban on imported sex dolls. This is yesterday's story, December 26th, 2022. Free the dolls. Free the dolls. Okay. South Korea ends its ban on imported sex dolls. Congratulations. Here, this lovely lady, she made an appearance at a government meeting to express her pleasure at being allowed into South Korea. South Korea lifts its ban on imported full-bodied sex dolls this week, bringing an end to a years-long debate about how much the government can toy with individuals' private lives. In a statement released, I love the New York Post. The New York Post, for as kind of crappy a news organization there, I love their headlines, I love their front pages, and I love the way they write their articles. I just think it's funny. All right. How much they can toy with individuals' private lives. In a statement released Monday, the Korea Customs Service said it would implement a revised policy on life-sized adult sex dolls. While there are no formal laws banning imported sex dolls, thousands of the items were previously seized by customs officers, citing a clause forbidding imported products. This is a thing. This is a legit thing. Forbidding imported products that harm the country's beautiful traditions and public morals. That's why there was no law specifically banning sex dolls, but the customs officials were unilaterally seizing sex dolls on the clause that allows them to forbid import of things that harm the country's beautiful traditions and public dignity and public morals. Importers subsequently took several cases to court where it was determined that the dolls are used in private spaces and thus do not undermine public dignity. So again, there you go. You've actually had to have some owners of sex dolls sue the customs agents, sue the customs service to get their sex dolls back from the customs people. That would be a fun thing to do. I just imagine you being up there in court demanding the return of your sex doll. The Korean Customs Service noted, however, that it would continue to ban the import of sex dolls that resemble children or specific individuals, citing similar policies in the United States, the UK, and Australia. Although this decision reflects South Korea's gradual easing of state restrictions on personal autonomy, it will likely face pushback from some women's groups and conservative organizations. Read churches. Lee Sang-in, the former head of an online adult outlet for sex doll importer Karen Share, like Karen Share Co., called the decision reasonable, but a bit late after the government allegedly wasted taxpayer funds fighting the importers' lawsuits in court. We thought our people's rights to seek happiness and use sex dolls in their private lives have been restricted by the state, he explained, stating that sex dolls made in South Korea are generally inferior to those manufactured abroad. He said it, I didn't. Don't come after me, Korean sex doll enthusiasts. But while customs officials say they will hang on to more than 1,000 sex dolls seized in South Korea since 2018, just imagine there's like a warehouse with like 1,000 sex dolls in. Oh, I guess it's here at the customs office, it's time to take a break. I'm gonna go out in the shed over there and smoke a cigarette. I'll be back in about 10 minutes. Uh, they're going to keep 1,000 sex dolls seized since 2018. The government's decision will allow Karen Share and other companies to reclaim the imports seized by the government. According to Lee, his former company has already taken back over 20 dolls and has filed separate lawsuits seeking compensation for the models that became unusable after years in government storage. Such a happy ending. Koreans are now allowed to purchase sex dolls and have them imported from out of country. You know what to get your best friend, your spouse, your significant other, or your worst enemy for Christmas: an imported sex doll. That's a legitimate story. Yay. I'm out. That's one legal I can't even say it. That's one legal advice I'm not sure I want to enjoy. Bye. Oh man, happy ending. I should have had a happy ending. Darn it. Oh well. All right, everybody. Wild Red, thank you so much for the $2 for the Jeff Sex Doll Fund. 2 down, about 2,998 left to go. Yeah, so hey, sex dolls. We can have sex dolls in Korea now, which is why I want to have Dollhouse Phil on to talk about that. That would be fun and interesting. So I think I'm going to send out some feelers, so to speak. Alrighty. It's actually a good ban, says Patty Leather. Western nations should ban sex dolls too. South Korea still has a moral center. You've clearly never been to Korea. Sex doll review. Yeah. That's just not my thing, I'm afraid. I'm a good boy. I know where you could get a free one if you're bold enough. I don't even like the way that sounds. Eva Torres, $5. Thank you so much for the super chat. Sex dolls don't require spooning unless you're spooning the goo out to clean them, in which case they require lots of spoon. Dishwasher safe. Jamming a sex doll into the. Oh no, not into the dishwasher. All right. Oh my gosh. It's now 12:30 a.m. here. Got one more story to get through. I'm not going to do as much of this as I wanted to. We'll give the background of the Bradley Yohn case, and we'll give a little kind of future deal. All right. We got this under control. Oh my God. You guys are too funny. Dishwasher safe vagina, whatever. Take it to the dry cleaners. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I mean, I don't care how realistic it was and how much. Somebody got to clean that thing. Ugh. That's where it all falls apart for me. I mean, aside from the fact of just being weird. To me, I don't kink shame. If it's weird, if it's not weird to you, you do it. Me, it's weird to me. And then it really falls down and just sort of collapses at the cleaning. Yeah, my cleaning lady won't wash my dishes. I know she's not going to wash the sex doll's vag for me. Just like knives, you want to hand wash your dolls, I guess. All right. Wow. Ick. Oh God. Let's see how long it's going to take us to get through this thing here. Scott, don't need to know. Don't want to know. But thanks anyway. All right, how are we doing over here? We now have 628 concurrent viewers. Welcome, all of you that walked in the middle of the sex doll thing. What we're doing, in case you didn't figure it out, is I'm just kind of reading a few news stories, making a few comments, and I'm going to clip them later and upload them as individual videos. I'll keep this one around just so people can come back and watch the whole thing if they want to. They can come back and read the chat, whatever makes them happy. Garrett Pace says, Jeff, ever read the Dirk Gently novels by Douglas Adams? Yes, I have. They're great. I love the Dirk Gently book, and the Netflix series. They were very, very well done too. I love me some Douglas Adams, and Dirk Gently's great. I wish I was drunk. You don't have to clean it. One night stand. Yeah, if you're paying $3,000 for a one night stand, I'm gonna pay like 1/3 of that for probably the best real person I would ever. Anyway, let's continue. I'm gonna finish that sentence. Now, this is a case about Bradley Yohn, who is currently beginning his trial phase in this little thing that he did in Illinois. Garrett Pace, I imagine Jeff's maid is like Dirk's. One of them actually was very, very, I mean, to the point where I really wish my refrigerator would have eaten her. All right. Yeah, Bradley Yohn here. He and his lovely accomplice here, Miss Blackledge, they did some really bad stuff. He went to jail for it. He's awaiting trial, and while in prison, he's done some other stupid stuff. Now, we'll get into this in a little bit, but this has the potential of being even weirder than the Darrell Brooks trial. Because this guy seems to be a true believer in the soft-set movement. Brooks sort of seemed to be one of opportunity. This guy actually does the shiz that soft sets do. So this has a potential of going way off the rails. I spelled LILY-Rose Depp too. Did I? Whatever. I'll go back and fix because I got to fix some stuff anyway. So yeah, whatever. We'll get to it. Righto, let's do this last story. I'll let you go, and then I'll go to sleep, and we'll do this all again tomorrow. All right, Bradley Yohn, here we go. What a charming guy. I'm bigging myself. 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody, Legal Vices here. We're getting up to speed on this case here, the Bradley Yohn case out of Illinois. He's going to be going on trial fairly soon, we hope, we think, maybe, and we'll see how this all works out. This trial has the potential of being even weirder and wilder than the Darrell Brooks trial. Why? Because Darrell Brooks was acting as a poser in the soft-set movement. There's no way you can convince me he was deeply aware of the soft-set movement. But this guy, Bradley Yohn, seems to be a true believer. He does the action. He walks the walk. He does this. So we're going to get a little bit into his background story. We're going to be talking about how his trial has progressed thus far. He did some bad stuff, went to jail, did some more bad stuff. He's facing a bunch of felonies, and he is doing the proper soft-sit things by filing motion after motion after motion and lawsuit after lawsuit, objecting to everything, demanding to be his own lawyer. We're going to dive right into the news here. Let's go for it with the Bradley Yohn case. This is the background. This is the history here. This is from last year, November 11th, 2021. Pair in custody after reported carjacking and SA. Bigging it. Quincy. A Springfield, Illinois man and a Quincy woman are in custody after a string of reported crimes that include vehicular hijacking, burglary, and SA. The Adams County Sheriff's Office reports Bradley S. Yohn, 34, of Springfield, Illinois, and Karen D. Blackledge, 32, of Quincy, were taken into custody about 2 p.m. Wednesday in Springfield. The Sheriff's Office reports they responded about 6 p.m. Tuesday to a report of a burglary at a home off North Bottom Road in rural Adams County. There, a homeowner told deputies that she had been the victim of a vehicular hijacking on North Bottom Road and forced to return to the home, which she also told authorities had been robbed. Adams County Sheriff Rich Wagner told WGEM that a woman in her 70s had pulled over on the North Bottom Road about 6 p.m. Tuesday because a headlight on her vehicle wasn't working correctly. She told police that Yohn and Blackledge pulled up behind her. She reported the two stole her car, took her home, robbed her, and SA'd her. A woman in her 70s stole her car, took her home, robbed her, and SA'd her. Wagner said the woman did not know either suspect. As part of their investigation, deputies determined the vehicle the suspects reportedly used during the vehicular hijacking had been reported stolen Tuesday from a Quincy business. So they stole a car to hijack another one. The investigation led police to identify Yohn and Blackledge as suspects. Wagner said Yohn and Blackledge eluded police Tuesday night in Quincy and Hannibal before members of the U.S. Marshals Violent Fugitive Apprehension Unit tracked them down. That sounds like a badass group of people. The U.S. Marshals Violent Fugitive Apprehension Unit. They tracked them down and arrested them about 2 p.m. Wednesday in Springfield. Investigators applied for warrants for Mr. Yohn and 2 counts of home invasion, aggravated kidnapping, aggravated vehicular hijacking, residential burglary, and aggravated criminal SA. Bond was set at $10 million with 10% to apply. So basically, they have to come up with $1 million, non-refundable usually, to get the $10 million bailout. So yeah, they got to come up with $1 million in cash before they have a chance of even getting their bond. Yohn was also charged with an additional vehicular hijacking that occurred in Adams County last week. Bond in that case was set at $250,000 with 10% to apply. So if you're keeping track, he needs to come up with $1,025,000 to get out of jail. Warrants for Blackledge were issued for 2 counts of home invasion, aggravated kidnapping, aggravated vehicular hijacking, residential burglary, and aggravated criminal SA. Bond was set at $5 million with 10% to apply. She's got to come up with $500,000 in cash. The sheriff's office reports the investigation is ongoing. Yohn previously pleaded guilty in Sangamon County to felony charges of retail theft and aggravated battery, use of a deadly weapon. He had been sentenced in 2020 to 3 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections in the battery case. Blackledge pleaded guilty in Adams County in April to felony charges of a forged credit card or debit card over $300, as well as possession of a stolen vehicle. In each of those cases, she was given concurrent sentences of 120 days in the Adams County jail with credit for time served and 24 months of probation. The remaining jail time was stayed. Hey, these are habitual criminals here, people. Earlier today, Blackledge appeared with her attorney for a status hearing in Adams County Court on a felony charge of possession of methamphetamines under 5 grams. Wagner said he does not believe either should have been out on the streets. Yeah, when one of them was sentenced a year before this happened to 3 years in jail, and when the other was come on, she was... Yeah, there's problems. They shouldn't have been out on the street. I agree with that. Whether they did this, again, they are both presumed innocent until proven guilty. But they shouldn't have been out on the streets because of the other crimes, I believe. If they're going to commit these types of crimes, they shouldn't be out on the streets. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, if you're going to murder someone, you probably shouldn't be out on the street. If you're going to kidnap people, SA them, steal their money, burglarize their home, yeah, you shouldn't be out on the streets. So they should be in jail, probably where they belong. Nobody deserves to be victimized by anybody. Rawr, tiger. All right, so that's the basic background. So what's happened since then? What has gone on during the past year as far as the criminal trial is concerned? This article here says that the trial for Yohn is set to begin on November 14th. It didn't, and we'll find out why. The trial for a Springfield man charged in a 2021 carjacking at home will begin on November 14th. No, but for a little bit of news, his next hearing is scheduled for this Friday. There's going to be a bunch of motion hearings this Friday. We'll talk about them a little bit later. This Friday, hopefully, will be today because I'm recording this earlier. Probably upload this one on Friday. Judge Roger Thomas denied an oral motion from defendant Bradley Yohn to move back the start of the trial even further after granting a prosecution request to push the start back 1 week from the previously set November 7th start date. I'm going to need a little more time to formulate this defense, Yohn told Thompson in making the request. After Thompson denied the oral motion, he told Yohn he could enter a formal written motion. Yohn stated his objection to Thompson, and a heated exchange followed. Don't interrupt me or you'll be removed from the courtroom, Thompson said. Well, I'm ready to go, Yohn responded. Go, you're out, Thompson said, and several bailiffs and sheriff's deputies escorted Yohn from the courtroom. Hey, does this sound familiar to anybody? Again, this is the soft sit Darrell Brooks tactics. Delay, deny, push back. So the exchange happened during an omnibus motion hearing that also addressed the role of Yohn's standby attorney, public defender Todd Nelson, as well as evidentiary issues. Nelson asked the court to define the parameters of his participation in the trial. So this is the public defender who's been assigned to represent Yohn. He says, hey, court, tell me what my job is here. I need to know. And Yohn says, I don't want him to have any parameters. I don't want him to be here. Yohn insisted he was guaranteed a constitutional right to stand by counsel, but Thompson told him that is not the case. So he said, okay, I misspoke there. He said he doesn't want any parameters. He wants this guy to be there constantly without any restrictions as standby counsel. But Thompson, the judge, says, nope, that's not the case. The defendants are guaranteed a right to counsel, not standby counsel. They're guaranteed a right to counsel, which Yohn previously waived by asking to represent himself pro se, or pro per, as the soft sits like to say. Incorrect, Thompson said. You have no right to stand by counsel. Thompson then asked Yohn what he expected of Nelson. So, Mr. Yohn, what do you expect your counsel to do? I would expect the man to be here and to help me at trial. See, that's what we call a counsel, not a standby counsel, Yohn. He said that he asked that Nelson be present and sit next to him at the trial and answer any legal questions Yohn might have. Thompson reminded Yohn that might confuse jurors, but Yohn said he would ask that jurors be instructed to acknowledge that he was representing himself. Pro se, soft sit stuff. Thompson then instructed Nelson to be part of the trial and to answer legal questions that he brings to you. So Yohn won that one. He gets to represent himself and he gets standby counsel. Because the evidentiary issues related to admissibility of various pieces of evidence, that portion of the hearing was closed to members of the media and general public. This is where we kind of get into the craziness of the proceedings here. Yohn was set to represent himself at trial on June 21st when he requested an attorney moments before prospective jurors entered the room. He demanded a speedy trial, which is also the soft sit thing. He demanded a speedy trial. The jury was getting ready to walk in the room, and that's when he chose to exercise his right to have counsel. Again, that's soft sit stuff. Delay. We'll get into some of this probably once this gets closer to trial. We'll get into some of the soft sit beliefs and tactics, and we'll have some people on to talk about that. So the jurors are getting ready to file into the courtroom, and then he asks for a lawyer. After his request to get an attorney was granted, Yohn said in court that he would fire whoever was appointed and represent himself later. Clearly, he literally told the judge, I want a lawyer. The judge says, okay, I'll appoint someone. He said, okay, as soon as you appoint him, I'm going to fire him and represent myself. Delay tactic. That's a wild delay tactic that actually worked. He has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of home invasion, 1 count of aggravated kidnapping, and 1 count of aggravated vehicular hijacking, 1 count of aggravated criminal SA, all Class X felonies, and residential burglary, a Class 1, Class 10, I guess, I don't know, Class 1 felony. Those charges are in connection with the November 9th, 2021 incident that allegedly began on North Bottom Road. Now, he also faces felony charges in 2 other cases. He was charged with vehicular hijacking stemming from an October 31st, 2021 incident. He faces charges of residential burglary, Class 1 felony, 2 counts of theft or unauthorized control over property over $500, but under $10,000, Class 3 felonies, and a criminal SA, a Class 4 felony. These charges stem from an October 14, 2021 incident. Yohn is being held on $15 million bond, which is believed to be the largest bond amount ever set in Adams County. The trial is set to start November 14th, and he will return for a status hearing on November 2nd. Well, that didn't really happen. They had a status hearing. It went off the rails. We'll probably watch that next time we deal with this issue, probably early to mid next week. We'll show that hearing that went off the rails. But Dingbat here, who's got all kinds of felonies and $15 million worth of bond, he screwed up in jail. He gets another felony for possessing thumb drives while in jail. A Springfield man defending himself against criminal SA charges in Quincy picked up another felony charge earlier this month. Bradley Yohn was charged November 15th in Adams County Circuit Court with 3 counts of possessing contraband in a penal institution, Class 1 felony. If he's found guilty, he faces between 4 and 15 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections. Discharging documents filed with Adams County show Yohn possessed electronic contraband in the form of thumb drives in the Adams County jail. Yohn has also been charged with communicating with a witness, a Class 3 felony. Charging documents show he communicated false information to Karen Blackledge with the intent of preventing her from testifying freely, fully, and truly. Sounds like intimidating a witness to me. Blackledge and Yohn were arrested November 10th, 2021 in Springfield in connection with an incident on November 9, 2021. When Blackledge acknowledged in court she illegally entered a home on Quincy's North Bottom Road. While in the home, she used a weapon to penetrate Christine Tina Schmidt, who died on December 12th, 2021. Yeah, the old lady died, by the way, while waiting to go to trial. Not too long after it happened. Like, she died a month after. She pled guilty on May 5th and received 2 20-year sentences to the Illinois Department of Corrections. She flipped. She's going to rat him out. She's going to testify against him at trial. He contacted her illegally and apparently said something to try to prevent her from testifying, and now he picked up new charges for that. So Yohn is defending himself against charges of home invasion, aggravated kidnapping, aggravated vehicular hijacking, aggravated criminal SA with a weapon. He allegedly committed the crimes on November 9th at Schmidt's home. Yohn can be sentenced to serve anywhere between 6 and 30 years if found guilty of any of the Class X felonies. He is due in court Wednesday morning for a status hearing in that case. He was also charged on October 14th with threatening a public official, a Class 3 felony. Judge Tad Brenner set bail at $100,000 and assigned public defender Todd Nelson as Yohn's attorney. A charging document filed in Adams County Circuit Court claims Yohn said to the correctional officer Cole Anderson, "I'll get you, bitch. I don't care about no charge. When I get out, I will get you. I'd kill you, bitch. It doesn't matter if I'm threatening you. They won't charge me anyway. You're dead, bitch." Yohn also allegedly said he would get Anderson's mother and sister first, so Anderson had to watch. Well, homie going down if he's found guilty of these for a very, very long time. Yeah, guy's got a stack of felonies, a bunch of felonies. He's representing himself in all of these cases. Not a good thing to do. First of all, don't commit the felonies. 2, if you do or are accused of it, make sure you have a real lawyer who's good. Don't represent yourself. But can you see why this might be crazier than the Darrell Brooks trial? Next time we talk about this, we'll show the trial from the previous hearing, which lasted a grand total of about 13 minutes, and 10 of that was actual trial time, I guess. It was actual hearing time. So the 30th of December, which may be today, maybe a few days, I don't know when I'm going to upload this, but I'm going to try to upload this on December 30th, is the date of the next scheduled hearing. So we'll have a report after that. If there's footage of that, we'll show that, and we'll also show this previous hearing. This is the Bradley Yohn case. We'll see when it goes to trial. I'll follow it, and it seems like it's going to be televised, so that'll be something that we can all watch together. So until our next update on the Bradley Yohn case, whatever you do, hang tight and enjoy your legal vices. Okay, done. That's it. That's all. I saw a super chat or two fly by. Let me find them before things get out of control. Okay, we got one. Is MASH popular in Korea? Asks Xcomer. No, not at all. Actually, I don't know if it's officially prohibited here. I doubt it, but yeah, it's not shown here. They don't think the Korean War was particularly funny here. Yeah. So wow, there we go. Hey, Pastor of Muppets, welcome to the end. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stories going on, and like I said, all of these are great for these short little bits, but there's none of them could really carry. Maybe well, the Yohn case could carry its own show, which I originally intended, but if I did that, then this would have to be delayed another week, and then none of these stories would be relevant anymore. So I just decided to do this today. Thanks for participating in this, by the way, guys. I know it was a weird day. We might have to do this occasionally just to make sure we catch some of these interesting little things. So now, like I said, I'll be breaking these down and uploading them every couple days, just as a regular uploaded video. But I'll keep this here so you can come back and read the comments. 635 concurrent viewers. You guys are awesome, and 758 likes. Cool. Glad to have all of you here. And how did our thingamajigger here work out? The poll. I hit the like button and subscribed because I'm naturally smart. 59% of you are naturally smart. I was reminded to do it. So 11% of you had to be reminded. Well, now, next time, get into the naturally smart part. And I'm slow, but catch on eventually was 14% of you. And I'm an idiot, but I did it now. 16% of you have admitted to that. You're better than me. I would have just done it and then admitted that I was naturally smart. But thank you for your honesty. Digger420 says, hi, I've been sleeping in. But lols, I've missed y'all. Yeah, there you go. Oh, Adriana's leaving us. Bye, Adriana. Everybody's abandoning me now, and we're not done yet. We're just done with the stories. All right. Whew. All that just because I really wanted to talk about sex dolls. Oh God. All right. Well, it is getting to be 1 a.m. here, so we do need to shut it down real quick from my end, but just wanted to say a couple of things before we go. First of all, I hope you're doing well this holiday season, everybody. I hope you've all got someone here in chat, someone around you, somewhere to say hi to keep in contact with if you don't have family. We're moving on through to New Year's. I will not be doing anything on New Year's Eve or New Year's, my time anyway, because I've got plan A, and then if plan A goes belly up, then I've got a plan B in place. And if that doesn't work, I have a 100% will happen plan C. But what we've got coming up tomorrow, Wednesday, we'll be doing the first interview, the first police interrogation of Courtney Clenny, the OnlyFans murderer who stabbed her boyfriend. But this interrogation is from an earlier arrest when she was arrested in Vegas for assaulting him. We'll watch that. Thursday, O.J. Simpson Day. Our Barry Sheck will be interviewing our LA criminologist, Dennis Fung, cross-examination. We'll be doing that for many, many weeks to come. Friday, we'll probably be doing more Courtney Clenny and maybe a couple other things. Courtney Clenny's latest interrogation when she was arrested for allegedly stabbing her boyfriend to death. Next Monday, we're going to be talking about some Irish maritime stuff. We'll be talking about the Irish Royal National Lifeboat Institute and some of the work they do, some of the stories. We'll be telling the Bodie McBoatface story just for giggles because someone brought that up. And we'll be doing a little show and tell as well. And some other stories. Let's see, anything else to bring up right now? Any other? No live stream of Korean fireworks. Funny you should mention that. There are usually no New Year's fireworks. But there was the big fireworks display here a couple of weeks ago. I did download that, and I plan on editing it a little bit and uploading it probably for New Year's Eve. So you can all watch fireworks on my channel. It'll just be like 35, 40 minutes of fireworks with no commentary or anything. No, the fireworks, we tried to film it, but it didn't work out too well. It didn't look good. So I'm just basically going to borrow the official the official fireworks display, chop it up, and re-upload it. So we'll get some fireworks just for fun. Yeah, I think that's just about it, everybody. Is maritime law considered to be all the same in any nation? Like no nation has a claim to the law at sea. Every country has its own maritime laws. Well, some don't have any maritime laws. Like a landlocked country would probably have no need for them. But not each country has its own laws. But some of the countries have come together to sign on to treaties about international law of the sea and whatnot, where they all agree to follow the same laws and same rules. But essentially, every country makes its own laws. How was your Christmas dinner at the club? My Christmas dinner at the club was great. I really enjoyed it. We had fun. All the food was good. Ate way too much. Had some good drinks. Hung out with some good friends and some good people. Don Booze, thank you so much for your super chat. Sounds like you're taking a page out of the Camelot book for Nye. Lol. Camelot. Okay. Yeah. What? What are you talking about? Sounds like you're taking a page out of Camelot book for Nye. On New Year's Eve. Oh, okay. Wow. That took a while to decipher. Sounds like you're taking a page out of Camelot's book, YouTuber Camelot book for New Year's Eve. Gotcha. No. Well, partially, but better. Good morning from Virginia, Sinbad. We're just getting ready to shut down. I'm still hungover from your killer eggnog. Did you like the eggnog? I hope you enjoyed it. I still have about 1 cup left. So I got to finish off my eggnog. Might just do that right now. Now, see, yeah, Nye is a thing. When you live in Utah, you have Nye County, Nevada next door. So, that's like BLM. Never, ever, ever will Black Lives Matter be the first thing that goes through my head when someone says BLM. I'm from Utah. I'm from cowboy country out west. Till the day I die, someone says BLM, and the only thing that's going to go through my mind is the Bureau of Land Management. So that's it. Juab County rules. Bill Nye, the science guy. So, all right. I think we're going to end this now. Before we do that, I just wanted to give a very, very special thank you to the mods. You guys always do a great job. You're awesome. Appreciate everything you do. It was great having you all on. We'll do it again in a few months' time, probably have more Meet the Mod stuff. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, Annette Kilpatrick, Nye County, Nevada. Pahrump, Nevada. Home of the Art Bell Show. Next to Area 51, sort of, kind of, a few hundred miles away. But yeah, it's a place. So that's what I think about. Mods, again, thank you so much. People here in chat, deeply appreciate your presence. It would be stupid of me to be here if it wasn't for you. You guys are awesome. Chat is great. And those of you that just had us on in the background that were listening to this nonsense, wondering what the hell was going on, come back later and hit that like button. Patty, you're even kind of welcome back again, too. Just slightly less spamming would be great. But otherwise, welcome back. Everybody, pop on in. We'll see you next time, which is tomorrow. Hit that like button if you haven't already done so. 557 concurrent viewers and exactly 800 likes. That's some cool stuff. You guys are great. And isn't it nice when I don't have to keep harping on hitting the like button? And we owe all of that to Corn Pope. Thank you so much, Corn Pope. And we only lost 3 subscribers during that. Come on, people. Don't unsubscribe. Just come back later. Come back and watch it later. All right. There we go. We're done. That's it. Come back tomorrow for the Courtney Clenny interrogation tape. We'll see you then. Love y'all. Even those of you that think I don't, I do. Good night, Dargy. Good night, little strawberry. Bye, everybody. Enjoy your legal vices. I'm going to enjoy one of my illegal eggnog vices and then go to bed. Bye now.